States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. Give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Yes, another big day in Washington and another day to watch Donald Trump continue to scramble around, diverting our attention from what's really happening. Mueller is getting closer, the probe is getting deeper, and there's no lubrication. Yeah, it's serious. The newest flip has occurred with Mueller's investigation getting Sam Patten to flip, a lobbyist who pled guilty. Says he helped steer foreign money to Trump's inaugural and lied to Congress. Okay, just weigh those words heavily. A lobbyist steered foreign money to Trump's inauguration and lied to Congress. So he's flipped. So Trump used foreign money on top of it? The Russians helping him separately? I mean, this is really, really going to get really bad for Donald Trump as the weeks progress. They say an indictment of Trump Jr. is something that could happen before the election, possibly even other people in Trump's cabinet. So we'll see. And you, the voter, get to decide whether you want to vote for Republicans and get no action in the House, or Democrats and probably get an impeachment hearing. Although the Democrats, you got to wonder if they even have it in them. Donald Trump said they can't impeach him. The economy is doing too well. I don't know what world he's living in, but the economy is not doing great. Some people who borrow money every day think they've got great salaries, they're doing great, while their companies go deeper in debt. Some people who think they've got cush government jobs think it's great because the government pays them regularly. Well, that's because the government hasn't admitted that they're going bankrupt. Today, Trump is so off with this NAFTA thing and the awkwardness about lowering the flag for John McCain's death. That happened a couple days ago. He tried to make a big deal about the NAFTA Mexico agreement where he's pressuring Nieto to agree, and then insisted that President Nieto should still pay for the wall, which is absurd. And he's even said he'll never pay for the wall. But U.S.-Canada NAFTA trade talks break off without a deal. His off-record Trump comments on Canada have led many people to just say no, they're not going to do it. Trump is confused by trade, as shown by NAFTA and Canada. Murky NAFTA talks leave farmers from all three nations in the dark. And U.S. and Canada fail to reach a deal. So Trudeau is probably very angry still at what Trump did to him. And I don't blame Trudeau for being angry. Trump said that they owed us money and insisted on it. And then later said he lied about it publicly, that he didn't even know. But he's still clinging to the idea that he said the right thing initially, that they owe us money. They don't owe us any money. And I think Trudeau is overwhelmed with Trump's incompetence. He doesn't know what to do. Signing an agreement with somebody so incompetent could be a bad thing for his country. All right. We still don't know anything about the 700 children that Trump lost. They're still missing in Arizona, and the Republicans don't seem to care. So 700 kids are missing their parents. 450 of their parents were already deported without any knowledge where their kid was. Oh, it's ugly. The whole thing is ugly. And we don't even know if these kids weren't sold into human trafficking. And some really bad news to report today. A police shooting occurred in Pasadena, California, and an actress, a famous actress, Vanessa Marquez, has died at age 49. This is the actress. This is the woman who was simply suffering from some illnesses, and she was attacked at her home by the police. And all she was doing is holding up some BB-8 toy, a Star Wars toy, and they shot her, killed her. Okay, I have to get that, excuse me. You'll have to just talk to the chair. Okay, hello, yes. Yeah, what's that? Yeah. Great. Okay, sounds good. And she can just do that out. Yeah, she can take care of that herself. Okay. All right, enjoy. Thanks for calling. Okay, take the same here. Bye-bye. All right. We're up and running. Hey, Scissor Fight. The lawyer was told Russia had Trump over a barrel. Wow. Let's take a look at that story that just came in from Scissor Fight. And Misanthropy has a story about the FBI arrest compound suspects.
This is a Fox News alert. Just in the past few minutes, the FBI has released a statement saying they've arrested 5 residents of that compound in New Mexico we've been telling you about on a federal criminal complaint charging them with violating the federal firearms and conspiracy laws. Now, this is the same compound where officials found several children living in terrible conditions a short time ago. They also found one child dead. Earlier this week, you may remember, a judge dismissed many charges against 5 compound residents in custody. We're following this breaking story, again, out of New Mexico.
Okay, so the FBI arrested 5 adults that were released on technicalities by a local judge. Some people are thinking that the New Mexico compound was a CIA asset, but the FBI is getting involved, so they're stepping up. Maybe they want to get these people under their fold so they don't talk. Who knows? Yeah, hard to say. Okay, and this story right here, which is pressing. AP sources say lawyer was told Russia had Trump over a barrel. A senior Justice Department lawyer says a former British spy told him at breakfast meeting 2 years ago that Russian intelligence believed it had Donald Trump over a barrel, according to multiple people familiar with the encounter. The lawyer, Bruce Auer, also says he learned that a Trump campaign aide had met with higher-level Russian officials than the aide had acknowledged. Wow. The previously unreported details of the July 30th, 2016 meeting, Breakfast with Christopher Steele, which Orr described to lawmakers this week in a private interview, reveal an exchange of potentially explosive information about Trump between 2 men the president has relentlessly sought to discredit. So while he's trying to discredit Christopher Steele and this other man, Bruce Orr, Trump is doing what apparently is called obstruction of justice everywhere he can to try to stop this investigation into what apparently is Trump's puppet status with Russia. Okay, NBC's going to try to bury the Weinstein rape allegations, you think? And protect the Hollywood cesspool of evil swamp creatures. Well, so far there's 2 women left prosecuting Weinstein. But a judge just pulled an entire Weinstein investigation because somebody made a donation to Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. I know, it's kind of crazy, but this story is also in the news. Breaking, New York Governor Cuomo suspended Weinstein's sexual assault investigation just as he raked in $25,000 from Weinstein's longtime law firm. You're looking at corruption right in front of you. This is as close as you can get to seeing what's going on. Yeah, so he makes a $25,000 donation and an investigation disappears. And the first woman, apparently, he got into an email chat with her, and the judge said, yeah, it sounds like she wanted to have sex with you. And that story went away. So there's 2 women now, out of 70 women that allege being raped by Weinstein, 2 women are still prosecuting. Okay, Daily Beast has a lot more reporting to come. I'm sure that will be the beginning. I hope you understand that I am not in any way on Trump's side. Trump stole my ideas to win the election. Many of my ideas were stolen flat out by Trump, and he claimed they were his. So when you look at Trump and you say, wow, you sound a lot like you're supporting Trump, Trump literally grabbed my ideas. So the good thing about what we're talking about is our country is going to be a lot more aware of the illegal alien problem, because it was a big issue in my show for about 5 years. The 1,000-mile fence idea is my idea, and it actually, or a 1,000-mile fence can be built for $1 billion with containers, and I've got a way to do that. So we don't need to go through the avenue that Trump is taking to try to create a $25 billion fence. We can finance it with $1 billion currently in the Veterans Super Fund. We can work on national security using military strategies like building a fence. That's within the purview of the president. Doesn't need congressional support. You know, if you're saying Orr and his wife were employed by Fusion, bottom line is Orr and Christopher Steele were on the up and up. They spoke the truth. Trump is an asset of Russia, and you Trump supporters just don't get that. You're acting like traitors to our country when we're trying to vet these communist intruders and facilitators of control of our election process, and you're standing there and denying it's even happening. Even to this day, when the Senate and the CIA and the FBI have all confirmed that it's happening, you're still there saying, oh, it's a hoax. Oh, it's a hoax, yeah. Wow. You're one of these people that needs to get mugged, I guess, in order to realize crime is on the rise in your area. I'm sorry to say, man, but I don't trust the CIA or the FBI, but I don't disregard everything they say either. You can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's not perpetrated by the Obama administration. No, not at all. When are you going to wise up? No, there's not a hoax about Russia. It's real. You put your support in the wrong department. I'm going to mute you for a while. You decided to support Trump when you needed to support me. You're a turncoat. And you fall into the category of being a traitor. Why on earth is Trump making infomercials from the Rose Garden? Apparently he doesn't know that that's illegal. Everything about Trump is like a completely incompetent. You may be wondering why throughout the second half of August the president had been standing in the Rose Garden and yelling about manufacturing, meeting with foreign leaders. Yeah. He made his Americans great again. Here's one of his commercials.
Made in America is back. Now, some people would say made in the USA. I personally don't care. The fact is, we're back. We have 400,000 new manufacturing jobs. Our opponents said that could never happen. It has happened, and we're going to develop a lot more in a very short period of time. So, made in the USA, made in America, it's back.
Problem is, you've been buying overseas. You and Ivanka have been buying overseas for a long time, and we don't see a lot of growth in America. Harley Davidson's operating in Europe now because of the trade war. So this guy is using the White House to make commercials for re-election. That's just not, you can't do that.
Many people have been asking about my desk and the fact that I have so many papers on my desk. It's actually very neat. I know where everything is, but if you look around, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. The fact is, I'm busy. I always notice that busy people, people that are very successful in many cases, have a lot going on their desk.
So he tries to put a lot of stuff on his desk so he looks successful. What an empty-headed statement. Wow. This guy really is like completely out of it. But you might not think that when you hear him speak.
I went to Wharton. I had a situation where I was a very excellent student. I'm a person that very strongly believes in academics. I was a nice student. I have a very good brain, and
Yeah. Yeah, well, all I can tell you is I've seen nothing but problems with this president, and he's ruining our foreign policy with other countries. We're seeing a breakdown in NATO. Trump has actually talked about getting rid of all of our troops in Germany. He said it was a terrible expense we're spending on Germany. That's exactly what Russia wants, for us to get rid of our NATO alliances and to remove our troops from Germany. That's exactly what Russia would tell him to do. So Trump is doing everything Russia wants him to do, and you're saying he's doing a great job. You're not an American third-party supporter, dude. You're a traitor, and you're in our room. I don't even know why I'm letting you sit in our room with us. California gives ISPs the finger, passing a robust bill to restore net neutrality. I'd like to see net neutrality come back. I really would, but we need some strong proponents of net neutrality, that people understand that Ajit Pai is probably profiting from the entire removal of net neutrality. The chairman of the FCC is probably, I would say, involved with one of the big communication companies. And one of them is Sinclair Communications. And he's being investigated right now. Ajit Pai is being investigated for what he's done, and he's being looked into right now by our government and his Sinclair Communications connections. A lot of his decisions have been in favor of things that Sinclair profits from. Now, if they cut back on your access to the internet, which is absurd considering we have faster internet with the 4G network than we ever did before, if they try to limit your access, they're trying to control access, and they're creating scarcity. False scarcity creates high prices. You know, I like what Canada's done with cable TV. They made it a la carte by law. A la carte cable TV, where you don't have these big, huge plans that are so filled with ripoff, and you know you're not going to watch all those. I'm not going left, not at all. I'm the guy that championed the whole position about Trump working for the Russians. I'm not left at all, no. We've got a new viewer here, The Rock. Hey man, right on. Okay, we got The Rock in. There you go. Looks like you got a pretty cool setup there. You got your headset on, you're rocking out to the show. Cool. Yeah, I like this feature iBlog has to give people a chance to come into our show. It's nice. Last night we experimented with the Skype call. We had a couple calls from Robin Lynn, and we had some people calling in. It's from Robin Lynn, and there you go. Some people calling in. Mic's up. From Robin Lynn, and there you go. Some people calling in. Mic's up. From Robin Lynn. And there you go.
Sorry about that. I'm a first-time caller, long-time listener. I'm a first-time sorry about that. Long-time listener.
Yeah, well, what you got to do is just turn your speaker off. But thank you. Good to know. First-time caller, a long-time listener. Great. Yeah, you just turn your speaker off in the background and go through your headset. Then you won't have that feedback. So Jerry Brown's looking at the net neutrality bill. You know, anybody who can stop Ajit Pai from doing this is yeah, go for it. Do whatever you can. I'm not a big protagonist of Jerry Brown. I think he's blowing it in California big time. The bill would prohibit internet providers from blocking or slowing data based on its content or from favoring websites or video streams from companies that pay extra. Excellent. Good job. Yeah, you're, I'm not completely going to hate on Jerry Brown if he comes up with things like that. Absolutely. I just think he's mismanaging the budget in California, something terrible. Yeah, so Hollywood Reporter, that's right. And the California Senate approves net neutrality rules, sends bill to governor. Thank you. Okay, we covered that story. This container fence idea really will be affordable. I totaled the number of containers needed and multiplied by $2,000 per container. And the total bill to cover the distance, 1,000 miles, is $528 million, leaving the rest of that money for labor and building supplies. So when Trump stole my 1,000-mile fence idea and called it a wall, he was turning on me. And then when you jumped on Trump's wagon after he stole 10 or 15 of my ideas, maybe more, you turned on me again. All of you Trump-tards have become an obstacle. Now when I tell you the Russians really are controlling Trump, you're like, oh, no, he's not. He's really independent of Russia. Well, for one, Mad Dog, we need to start green, clean technology jobs. He hasn't done anything in that regard. No new startups in the solar panel industry. No new startups in the in wind power. Nothing. And then you're looking at him wasting money left and right. Just recently, Trump reached the milestone of $500 billion over budget in 6 months. It's not the lowest unemployment rate since 1969. It's a fake statistic. It's a lie. I'm going to give you simple math. I mean, maybe simple math can somehow open your mind up to the reality that Trump is lying about the unemployment rate. It's not 3.9%. It's 45%. Here's a calculator, standard calculator. There's 97 million people out of a job in America. They might be housewives, whatever. There's 215 million viable people capable of working, not including illegal aliens, that's like 40 million. Not including old people, that's like 40 million. Not including children, that covers the difference. So let's take a look at 215 million people who could work. The ratio of 97 to 215 is 0.45 or 45%. So 45% of our country is unemployed. You can't tell me we're doing really well. That's a total lie. We're being lied to every day by the media. And here you quote fake news and false statistics to prop Trump up. It's convenient for you to quote fake news when it helps Trump, doesn't it? Yes, there's 40 million illegals in the country, that whether you like it or not. Many of them are green card holders. Many of them might be working. We don't know. I'm going to say 40 million is a fairly good estimate, but if it's more than that, and you think there are more than that, you've read statistics, I would be glad to be corrected on that, because we really have a problem to do it. We have to get this country back on track, and we can't just give people cheap jobs and expect, illegal aliens to do the work that Americans need to do. I'm basically in the unemployed category because I retired at 50. I saved my money like no other. I'm Norwegian, so I'm extremely frugal, and I was able to save enough to supply myself with plenty of money the rest of my life, so I'm not worried. I just realized I needed to do this. So in 2010, I said to Sarah, we're doing this. I'm not going to be working. I'm not going to be doing any advertising anymore. So I just closed my business. You retired at 38, yeah. I live on less than most people, so I can do that. Most people have to work really hard to cover their expenses. I don't have to work really hard because I don't have a lot of expenses. We got some interesting links here tonight. Many of you don't know, many of you liberals who support Planned Parenthood don't realize that Margaret Sanger, the originator of Planned Parenthood, actually did a lot of her rallies at KKK meetings and started the Planned Parenthood to exterminate the black race. So why is it they don't put out condoms freely at every Planned Parenthood location? Why don't they offer free birth control pills? What's going on? Why do they want to abort babies so much? Well, Robin Lynn, who's also simulcasting us on her network, she believes that they are actually using the bodies of the baby fetuses. There's some weird connection there. I think beer should be beer could be a pretty bad thing. So a lot of people who are getting inebriated every day can become alcoholics. Okay, let's see what else is here. This woman works in New Orleans City Hall. What do you think about this t-shirt? I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. Okay, that was one link that we're done with. Okay. A woman was seen, I'm not going to show this picture of a kid smoking pot, but she was smoking pot and handing the joints to her children who were smoking it. She has been arrested. Her bond is $100,000. She's being charged with child abuse, smoking with minors, but the judge dropped the felony charge. I don't know. I think she should get a felony for giving her children pot to smoke. It's not, that's just, well, granted, it's not that dangerous of a drug. It's not like she's shooting them up with heroin, but I just think it's just totally wrong to do that. And then this story, radar reveals details of the mountain collapse after North Korea's most recent nuclear test. So the entire mountain that he's been testing nuclear weapons has collapsed. We're not sure if he's doing any more testing. He said he wasn't going to do testing, but we haven't established anything with the Singapore meeting, nothing at all. In fact, they're angry that they felt like they were dealing with mobs, that Pompeo and Trump looked like mob bosses to them. 3D displacements derived from the radar imagery with arrows indicating horizontal, color indicating vertical, spanning the explosion about 1 week of additional deformation. Black outlines derived from, they're looking at deformation of the mountain. Lots of people died here. About 200 some odd people died at this testing area, nuclear testing site in North Korea. And the story of, the story of priests trying to answer for Pope Francis, who refused to speak on his support of Cardinal McCarrick, even though the previous Pope, Benedict, had put sanctions on McCarrick, preventing him from doing things because of allegations of sex pedophilia. This priest speaks out and talks about what they're dealing with at the local level. I mean, even our priest in my area has written a 2-page letter to the pontiff expecting results.
And put it out before they are forced to. What's difficult in this case is knowing that there were those who were aware of what was happening, who failed to act. Now, many of those folks are dead or long retired, but we still have to ask questions about whether there was a system or a culture that was peculiar to the church that allowed these crimes to happen. And
priests enabling priests to commit pedophilia. It's the sickest thing in the world. Very weird behavior going on in the Catholic Church right now. And the Pope Francis is saying nothing. They're going to have to actually impeach him because this isn't going to go away. And let's not forget about 4 months ago, his top financial advisor, the Pope's top financial advisor, was found having a orgy at his house with underage boys. And the Pope said nothing about that. 693 rapist priests, the last name starting with B. Really? You're looking at the Bishop Accountability Forum? Okay. Okay. Good chat. I'm really liking it. Andrew, Harvey Weinstein apparently paid off Governor Cuomo. A story investigating one of Harvey Weinstein's allegations, sexual assault investigations, has been suspended right after Cuomo got $25,000 from Weinstein's longtime law firm. So they make a donation to his campaign fund and the investigation goes away. So much for the Me Too generation. All right. This story came in from Misanthropy, and it's perhaps the most important story of the day. The Daily Caller has covered the story. Apparently, Facebook took down NPR report questioning the accurate number of school shootings from 2015 to 2016. You know, with all these alleged terrorist attacks at schools, there was this ridiculous statistic that over 200 schools had gun incidences last year. I got to tell you, when NPR studied it, they found only 11 schools had a gun incident last year. I know. Hey, Vibes. And you're saying they're continuing Jade Helm exercises even after the alleged termination. Oh, yeah. Jade Helm is still going on. It's an ongoing event. Preparedness for a military takeover of our country by our world government. Yeah. All right. All right, we're going to let you stay in the room, Mad Dog, because of your long history here. You're welcome to espouse your beliefs on supporting Trump, I guess, but I'm trying to give you as much leniency as you can, but you clearly don't support me. Those wars are something we need to end. It's for the New World Order. No, I want to go after this myself, but we can't just abandon troops in the middle of nowhere with no support. I mean, we've given so much effort to protecting people in Afghanistan, mostly warlords, that I'm actually in support of the idea, and I've been the one talking about it, of privatizing the military or the militia there, making mercenaries do the work that our government is doing right now in Afghanistan. But getting back to this, if indeed there were incidences like Sandy Hook that happened, but NPR can't find corroborating evidence, then we have a significant problem when Facebook bans NPR report. So if you don't believe this is happening, when one media bans another media that's super big, there's a big problem. I don't know if the Green Bay Packers are that big of a team this year. I'm not. I'm leading the deep state on this. No, Hillary's guilty as hell. Trump won't even expose her. That makes Trump guilty as hell of doing whatever the deep state tells him to do. You're wrong on this, man. Trump did not in any way investigate Hillary when he could have the past 2 years. And now he's claiming he should investigate the emails. This is a lot of talk. He's had 2 years to unveil what really happened with Hillary. He hasn't done anything. Don't stand there and think that Trump is doing anything to stop the deep state. He's controlled by the deep state. You will see I'm right. You know, I've talked about the coming RFID chipped underwear with charcoal liners designed to test and assess how much flatulence you have. It's coming. It really is. The day will come when they measure the number of gas particles coming out of your anus. If you let the New World Order take over, they're going to be charging you a tax on farting. It could happen. Well, whatever happens, personally, I'm just making that up, but I mean, it could happen. You never know. You'll be required to wear fart RFID chips in your butt. Chef Ramsay, you don't give the homeless any money? Why don't you give them some of your snack bars? Do you have a Chef Ramsay snack bar on the market at all? You could call it all snack bars. And you could offer it up for free. I mean, everybody could have Chef Ramsay snack bars, all snack bars. You've been chipped for years, really? You believe that we're actually being chipped right now with nanoparticles? That when we breathe the air, these chips are coming into our lungs and reforming in our bodies? Or maybe you believe that since the 1980s that when they started putting chips in vaccines. That's a theory. I don't want you to pay my internet bill for a year. You're the guy who can barely get enough money to support your own personal drinking habit. King Benny, Trump watches our show. Ever since 2012, we've caught him in our room watching our show. His recent attack on Google, exactly like what I've been talking about, how I think Google is got issues of too big, may want to monopoly bust Google. Now Trump's talking about this. Antitrust lawsuits against Google. He watches our show, I'm telling you. He thinks every one of my ideas is great, so he uses it. Calls it his own. You have a liar and a cheater as a president. You don't have the real deal. I've got twice the intelligence Trump has. I don't have to show you how much money I have because it's irrelevant. Trump doesn't even need to show you his tax returns when he said he would gladly show you his tax returns. Well, the root of the problem is this. We have corruption because money controls politics. That's the root of the problem. When politics becomes less of a profit mechanism for people, then we'll begin accountability. When we issue term limits for congressmen and senators, then we will have accountability. But as long as money dominates politics, we will always have these levels of corruption at every level in our government. I've got one of the most corrupt, democratically led areas in the country here. All they do is put together election after election for levies and bond issues to give more money to the bureaucrats that work in our area. You wouldn't believe all the bond issues. I just got hit with a 50% tax increase over a 5-year period from all these bond issues. And they just put elections out willy-nilly just to see if they can get a bond issue cleared. If no one agrees to it, they kind of soft sell it and they slip it into the next election. And then when everyone says, boy, we've had 5 elections this year, we're not going to vote, their cronies vote for it and they get it to pass. They've been doing this year after year in my area. Tax and spend, Democrats. The Bernie tards that are living in my area. They still think Bernie's a good guy even though he bought a brand new R8 for $175,000 when he did the dirty deal for Clinton and threw the race. Yes, there are nanotubes, they're called, that can sense and detect carbon. And these are the types of devices that may be used to detect carbon out of your butt. It's true. Passive gas sensor integrated carbon nanotubes could be integrated into your actual underwear. And you may be forced to wear these. Yeah. See, they've already got a circuit set up, articulated experiments worked out. They're pretty close to making these RFID chipped underwear to assess how much flatulence is coming out of your body and then charge you for that flatulence. Yeah. What do you think the charge should be for your flatulence? Pay out of pocket? Pay out of your ass? How much? How much for each fart? What do you think is the going value of your farts to the entire environment? While they dump chemicals on your head. I hate to be so crude here, folks, but these liberals are literally doing whatever the New World Order wants them to do. They buy the whole BS about climate change. You say, what do you mean, David? What do you mean BS about climate change? Well, Trump doesn't admit climate change exists. Not only is he wrong, climate change does exist, but it's caused by something much more nefarious than your flatulence. These nanoparticles that are floating in the air are causing global climate change. They're literally dumping chemicals all over the skies that we're breathing. Believe me, I don't have to follow the people that are trying to frame Trump. I'm the one who's leading the parade. What the hell, dude? I started this entire dialogue about Trump and the Russians 8 months before the election. I don't need to stop looking left. I'm leading that parade. And you keep supporting Trump. Bernie Sanders believes in political correctness, like Hillary and the lot, because it's their main tool to get elected. Trump spotted that and turned it against them. Okay, if you think so, Chef Ramsey. What if I told you that Bernie's doing something even worse? Bernie is not politically correct. Bernie can be exposed in like less than a second. Bernie. Bernie. Hello, Bernie. Bernie's probably going to run again. That's why I'm concerned. No, I'm not doing a marathon. That's a lie. Nope. I told you to stop lying. We don't believe in lying, psycho behavior. You just like to lie. It's like your daily thing. I talked about this the other day, but Bernie wrote this. He's such a writer. In fact, he's made $2.3 million a year on his writing. He's a rich guy. A man goes home and masturbates, his typical fantasy. A woman on her knees, a woman tied up, a woman abused. A woman enjoys intercourse with her man as she fantasizes being raped by 3 men simultaneously. That's Bernie. Yeah, he wrote that. He wrote it. It's published. That's him. This is what he believes. What kind of a man believes that women fantasize about being raped by 3 men simultaneously? That's a serious pervert. He needs to go back to perversion land where he came from. So this is what they're doing. This is the climate change they're not willing to talk about. This is what Trump won't say. Oh, there's no climate change. Look at what's happening. Our entire country is dehydrating in California and Arizona and Nevada. We're seeing massive fires across the nation, 65 fires in California alone. And only one person claim is an arsonist. Another woman claimed some fake story about how she was riding and her tire ignited a fire in California, the car fire. You hear that one? Some woman claimed that she had blew a flat and that she went ahead and rode on her rim and it started a fire. Who in the hell would do that? Ride on your rim, or worse yet, admit that you started the car fire. I mean, that's the whole story is BS. Vibes Live, or Robin Lynn, says it's not to track people, but to locate them and turn the beams on and eradicate them. I do not believe that we've seen a natural sky in decades. We are seeing what they want us to see. You're right. Well, I would admit I started the fire if it was my car. It's true. I would. If I was stupid enough to ride on my rim. No, I would admit it. But she literally came out of the blue and just said, oh yes, I was riding on my rim. And it's just so convenient for her to say that her spark created the car fire. It's like, no, actually, it probably was created by a directed energy weapon because they have those now. And if you weren't aware of that, let me get your sunglasses off and we can, oh, you've got more pairs? Okay. Let me see if I can show you a picture of a directed energy weapon I have here. Oh, I'm sorry. There is somewhat of a weapon here. It's called the Puppet Trump working for Russia. That's not a directed energy weapon. Sorry. Yeah, here's the damage from a directed energy weapon or a smart meter that may have gone haywire. Trees don't burn, but houses burn at 3,000 degrees. Now, why is it you buy a safe and they're only guaranteed to 1,500 degrees? Here is the actual directed energy weapon used by Lockheed Martin. They can start fires with this tool. Here's a picture of the plane that can start these fires. Here's a picture of all the chemtrails that they spray over the skies to dehydrate California. No, I'm not angry. I'm trying to talk about directed energy weapons. This is a picture of the one in California. We have photographs of it starting the fire that killed 42 people last year. Here's another angle of the same photograph. People saw, they took pictures. You can't deny this. All right, so if you are in total denial, we really don't have a place for you here. Yeah, we're trying to make people aware that we're being sprayed on, we're being artificially adjusted. I agree with Vibes, it's not natural. Did you hear about the fires in Washington? What about them? They're letting one of them burn right now for 2 months. In their infinite stupidity, they want to actually to burn off an entire area of the Olympic Peninsula. Guess who gets to breathe it? Me. So when I go outside, I have to breathe fumes, smoke, chemtrails, jet fuel. Yeah, nice, huh? And I live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Yes, a mystery missile was fired. We don't know who fired it out of the water. There was a missile that flew right over my house. They caught it on a remote camera. It blew right out of my house. It was a missile that landed, we don't know where it landed. In fact, you'd think the government would know that. But no, the government said, we don't know where the missile came from. Mysterious rocket launch right off the coast. And let me show you a picture of it. Here it is. It was seen from a camera, remote camera, and right under the trajectory of the missile is where my house is, right there. In fact, I'm within line of sight of that missile, but so is the Straits of Juan de Fuca. So the Straits of Juan de Fuca is a deep enough channel that a submarine can get in there and shoot off a missile. But you'd think the government would track it and know exactly where that missile landed. No word from our government, not one single word, not mum's the word, other than we don't know of any missile launch pad in that area. Mum's the word. I guess we'll talk about this briefly. The feds arrest rabbis. Yeah. Apparently, there were some rabbis involved in some sort of an internet scam, fraud scam. Monzi Kiryas Joel funding scam. $14 million in Monzi Kiryas Joel funding scam. I'm not sure what this is. The 7 Monsi and Kiryas Joel residents, including some rabbis, were arrested Wednesday in connection with the alleged $14 million ripoff of a federal school technology funding program. Federal prosecutors said. They allegedly stole money meant to help underprivileged children. So the rabbis were finally caught stealing this money, and they're going to serve some time. If only we could deal with some of the other corruption in our country, like Mr. Trump profiting from the White House, using the Rose Garden as his place to make political ad campaign commercials. He can't afford another place to make a commercial. And now he's saying we did a fantastic job in Puerto Rico, even though they just found out that not 64 people died, 3,000 people died in Puerto Rico.
And it was a very tough one. Don't forget, their electric plant was dead before the hurricane. If you look back on your records, you'll see that plant was dead, it was shut, it was bankrupt, it was out of business. They owed tremendous amounts of money. They had it closed up. And then when the hurricane came, people said, what are we going to do about electricity? That wasn't really the hurricane. That was gone before the hurricane. But we've put a lot of money and a lot of effort into Puerto Rico.
And you know what he did? He had he had one of his cronies give a company money to put the electric in Puerto Rico, even though the company only had 2 employees when they got the deal. No competitive bidding, nothing. They gave it to a crony of a crony. And I seriously doubt if all electricity has been restored in Puerto Rico, even still. I do not know whether the rabbis were Ashkenazi. I don't understand exactly when if you would know, I would know, I don't know. Your cousin Schmeckel was mixed up in that? Really? Look how perfect Trump's hair is. Yeah. So glad that he's modeled his hair after my hair, ironically. I think he realized that I have better hair than he does. And Jerry Brown doesn't have any hair, hardly. So take a look at this guy. The bill would prohibit internet providers from blocking or slowing data based on its content or from favoring websites or video streams from companies that pay extra. Jerry Brown's doing something that sounds right for a change. He's trying to review the California's use of net neutrality. And I think he's trying to get fairness back into the internet. All of us are going to be paying a lot more money for the internet if Ajit Pai gets his deal and gets his way. So Jerry Brown redeemed himself slightly there, but I don't really like him on a general basis. And the FBI has arrested the 5 people that were released by a state judge in Arizona, in New Mexico, when the New Mexico group of the compound where one kid died, when they were released recently, the FBI is now stepping in. I'm wondering if the FBI isn't in charge of this. They just want to bring their handlers in and control the situation.
This is a Fox News alert. Just in the past few minutes, the FBI has released a statement saying they've arrested 5 residents of that compound in New Mexico we've been telling you about on a federal criminal complaint charging them with violating the federal firearms and conspiracy laws. Now, this is the same compound where officials found several children living in terrible conditions a short time ago. They also found 1 child dead. Earlier this week, you may remember, a judge dismissed many charges against 5 compound residents in custody. We're following this breaking story.
So the FBI is stepping in, which is a good thing. But why? Why now? And we have another video here, or a picture of Bill Clinton. We're not getting the truth about Bill Clinton and all his sordid actions at Orgy Island. But we do get a chance to look at Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande was at Aretha Franklin's funeral, and Bill Clinton was watching her body, admiring her body. He seemed happily watching Ariana Grande singing. Yeah, so this is the story that goes viral in America, some mindless story as opposed to Bill Clinton going to Orgy Island 14 times without approval. Okay. Tekwala, long time. Wow. Where have you been? Okay, we have Mark Laganja's World Trade Center 9/11 video. Yeah, I'm going to copy it right now. Thank you. We'll add it to our link tonight. We've had new alternative views of the 9/11 attack from a different angle. This is completely different. This video is brand new. Wow, of the rubbish and all the terrible fumes that people endured without a face mask. Rudy Giuliani didn't give him a face mask. Well, I hope you're doing okay, man. We haven't heard from you in a while. I was worried about you. I'm glad you're in and out. Thank you.
In October 2016,
the Jains are the world's most peaceful religion, Anita. Thank you. It's pronounced Grande. Okay. Ariana Grande. Then who really cares? I'm not interested. You're going to take care of your issues. Good. I'm glad you haven't been in jail. Oh, You've been in and out of detention? Wow. Okay, so you were in jail. We had a psychic feeling you were in jail. No, he's good. He came in. He got charged with stupid crap, yeah. Who cares about Ariana Grande? Okay? So your friend was being a tranny for attention, guest 714, and now he's realized that that's a bad move? U.S. Steel? Really? I don't know really whether U.S. aluminum is going to survive. Lots of things are happening. It's a fluid market. Trump imposed another $200 billion in sanctions, and the stock market dropped 136 points yesterday. How is that a good thing? Today's Dow Jones dropped 22 points. So it was a wild day on Wall Street. A lot of bearish people versus bullish. It went down, 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 up, 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 and then down, way down, and then finally migrated its way back up to close 22 points down. There you go. You weren't in jail, you were arrested, waiting for your court order on a few occasions, which only lasted a couple hours. Good. That's good. I'm glad you weren't in jail. Well, thanks for that link to an incredible new look at 9/11. We saw videos last week that just came in of 9/11 footage taken from the backside of 9/11. Shows no planes at all. Not one plane. Yet what appears to be a large explosion. Yeah. Like a detonation. Okay, so this is the video, huh? Now, Rudy Giuliani, who was the mayor of New York at the time, didn't give anybody air masks. Not one person really was awarded any air masks, and they were all breathing nothing but fumes. 50,000 people suffer now from respiratory problems due to that. And Rudy Giuliani went on to become Trump's attorney and brag about all the great things Trump's doing. What a twisted world we live in. Okay, let me see if I can get a copy of that right now so I don't lose it. Chances are, if it's revealing of the cover-up, then we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Let's take a look. Tonight we'll look at the video. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of it right now. Thanks. Whew. Unreal. You have a very good lawyer. Good. David, a Muslim terrorist detonated a bomb and killed many children at the Grande concert. Is that Grande concert? I did not yet. Well, that's... Oh, when... Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. There wasn't a lot of evidence to support that claim. I put women who like to dance in front of my show because it is nice to see women dancing. I love women. I've always found them very attractive. And it's not like I'm exploiting them and I'm not showing their body naked. So you can't call me some sort of a weird perv for simply admiring the female form. And I'm not running around cheating on Sarah. I mean, you got to understand, I'm not like Trump. It's great quality. Remastered footage, okay. Well, if it reveals something, that'll be nice. If it doesn't, at least we got a better picture of how polluted it was there, and Rudy Giuliani did nothing for those people. I'm going to say Farrah Fawcett versus Linda Carter. I'm going to go Linda Carter. Yeah. In that she's still alive and Farrah died. I wasn't talking about Clinton looking at Ariana Grande. I was talking about the fact that we're not discussing his perversion on Orgy Island, not the fact that he was looking at Ariana Grande. You missed the whole point. Jeez. I had a chance to... I actually saw Linda Carter smoking a joint in a car when I was taking a ride on... I believe it was Bundy Avenue. Yeah. And she saw me, and I saw her, and I went like that, and I went like that, and she went like that. Imagine Linda Carter giving you the thumbs up. It made me feel good, you know, knowing that even Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, was smoking a joint. That was good. Okay. Yeah, Mad Dog's really on a roll tonight. He keeps supporting Trump, even though he doesn't seem to understand Trump is working for Russia. Senate investigation doesn't convince you that Trump is working for Russia. The FBI and CIA don't convince you. I mean, he didn't save anybody. Donald Trump ruined Guest 805 stock portfolio. And that's at a time when he gave all kinds of tax breaks to the rich. Well, in case you were wondering what was happening over the past 6 months, I can give you a quick synopsis. Trump overspent $500 billion in 6 months. Okay, that's one thing. This is as far as we know. He overspent $500 billion in 6 months. Okay? I'm going to give you some things to look at. And guess what else he did? Trump gave tax breaks of $1.7 trillion. So I'm going to put it in real numbers. Trump lost $1,700 billion in taxes. Okay, so he overspent by $500 billion and he lost $1,700 billion. That's $1.7 trillion. This is the great guy that you think is doing great for our country. You know what this is? This is what he's done in the short period of time that he's been president. But this is just the past 6 months. He lost $1,700 billion in taxes. He gave tax breaks to the rich who didn't need them. So, we're we're 2.3 trillion in arrears because of Trump. We lost money, overspent, and 2.3 trillion in debt, plus all the different mistakes he's made with our allies. Trade relations are in the dumpster with countries that we need to be opening a door to. Kind of sad. It's an absurd thing, and they have a word for this, where you don't bring in the money you need from tax revenue, yet you spend too much money in that same period of time. In the junk science world, and this is a time when I actually studied economics. During the 1970s, the term voodoo economics was introduced. And that's what this is. It's voodoo economics. It's upside down. You can't make rhyme or reason of it, and it's the death knell of an economy. That's voodoo economics. So that's what we're looking at across the board. A country that's completely running out of money and overspending left and right, and you think he's doing a good job. That's what this is. Not doo-doo, voodoo economics. It's voodoo because it's the doo-doo that you do when you voodoo. Trump and Obama were both puppets of the New World Order. You just never realized it. Now, because this is kind of an awakening of sorts for a lot of you who don't realize that what's happening, our country's being artificially weakened by bad presidents like Trump, because you don't realize this, you are open to the idea that maybe if you vote opposite, it might get better. But that's what the New World Order offers. They offer the illusion of choice. Well, you've got left versus right. You've got Republican or Democrat versus Republican. I mean, surely you have some choice. That's the whole lie, the deception. So when you think about a third party, usually you say, oh, well, you can't do third party because that's not appropriate. You're trying to constantly conform because no one wants to say you're a third party presidential candidate. Trump will be going to jail when the truth is revealed. We just found Mueller. He found another guy to spill the beans about Trump. Yep. Trump taking foreign money to get elected. Oh, it's going to get bad for Trump. Whatever he's doing now to make you feel like he's doing a good job is just a waste of time. And I've even predicted all of this would be coming down the pipe 8 months before the election. I said all of this is going to become evident to you. So every day that I do the news, it's like everything I predicted 8 months before the election. Nothing's new for me because I see the future, obviously. I wouldn't be telling you all of this in advance, but whatever. Here's a story that broke this past week, very disturbing. An international banker blew the whistle. He's saying that he was ordered to sacrifice children at parties for the elite. Yeah. They're killing children at parties to show people how rich they are. Shocking. Ronald Bernard is a Dutch entrepreneur whose drive and business contacts quickly catapulted him to the world of financial elite. The deeper into this world Bernard went, the more horrifying it became. In one interview, he talked about this depraved elite society, which he says conducted human sacrifices and celebrated destruction of the planet. How can I be a deep state operative if I support legal pot? Don't even compare me to Soros. You just lost, man. And you're starting to become kind of a waste of time in here. I'm going to give you a full break. You're out of the show for a while. You're interrupting the show with your nonsense. Impeachment is up to you, the voter. If you vote Democrat in the House and keep your votes for Republicans in the Senate, that's what I'm urging people to do. Let the Republicans in the Senate be the final decider as to whether Trump is going to be impeached or not. But let's at least afford the Democrats an opportunity to put impeachment on the table, like they did with Bill Clinton. In Bill Clinton's case, the Democrats voted against impeachment in the Senate. If the Republicans vote for impeachment after a democratically led House votes for impeachment, if the Republicans in the Senate, who control the Senate and probably will in the future, if they vote for impeachment, then this guy's impeached. He'll be impeached and Pence will become president. But if Trump were smart, he'll remove Pence because Pence has already said the Russians had nothing to do with the election, is on record lying. And Pence has not presented any of his emails of when he was the governor of Indiana, implying he's hiding something. Well, you can vote for whoever you want. But if you vote Republican across the board, your vote really isn't going to make any difference toward the impeachment. But that's fine. I respect your decision to vote anything you want. But I'm telling you, if the House is controlled by the Democrats, they will seek impeachment. But we're seeing a lot of fickle Democrats. I'm not happy with the Democrats. That's why I started America's Third Party. I don't believe that they represent the people anymore. They certainly don't take on issues that are important. Okay, 18 to 20 CIA sources have been killed in China or in prison. And WorldTruth.tv says it's because Hillary's Clinton emails were being hacked in real time by China, ? I don't think that's the cause of the problem with the 18 operatives in Beijing being killed over a 7-year period. I believe it's the Hanoi incident that occurred. Now, I'm the only one in the world who even talks about this. The Henan incident. In my area, the Henan incident was treated as if it was a hero's welcome. The men who flew the plane that was virtually downed in China in 2001. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the plane that was an EP-3 was taken down. The crew decided to down the plane and land it with all the top electronics equipment on it that was designed to do encoding, hardwired encoding of U.S. messages. I don't believe it was the Clinton emails that led to the death of the Beijing. No, I don't believe that at all. So I'm actually going to leave this story, but I'm going to move on. The Henan Island incident actually gave that plane to China to reverse engineer. While our troops were sent home, they were reverse engineering that plane. And the troops, it was the weirdest thing, they came home to a hero's welcome. And I'm thinking, how can they be coming home to a hero's welcome when they didn't do what they were supposed to do? Down the aircraft. They should have destroyed the aircraft and landed in the water with their parachutes. All right, however you frame it, that's fine. So that's why I think all the secret methods that we communicate with our spies in Beijing was compromised at the Henan Island incident. That's why 18 people were killed. We don't have any real good operatives in Beijing, but Moscow and Beijing both have top operatives in America. We can't even get Edward Snowden to be pulled off the streets of Moscow and sent back home. That's how impotent our country is. You'd think Edward Snowden revealing state secrets would have been arrested or killed by now. Yeah, they should have ditched that plane in the ocean. They violated our national security when they landed that plane and they acted like nothing happened. Every one of those men should have every single dollar that we give them in retirement cut and all their pensions knocked out. They should never have gotten any benefits at all. But oh no, the Navy is like asleep. They have no idea that these men violated our national security. I can't even believe these people even operate. I can tell you that the commander and the admiral of the Naval Air Station that I'm living on will be held for martial law restrictions on both of them. We'll be putting them under investigation when I become president. We will be invoking any type of military law that would be imposed on them would be invoked. Well, for one, they're flying dangerous planes over a population of 50,000 people, where I live. Any day now, there could be a major incident on this island where somebody gets killed, or many people get killed. And they're doing it not because they can't test planes elsewhere. There's a beautiful landing pad down there at China Lake, the China Lake facility. But they want to live here because it's so beautiful. And so that's why they're putting 50,000 people's lives in danger every day when they do these complicated maneuvers over our house. And then they're literally creating noise at 120 decibels. When I first moved here, they told me that we were in the no-fly zone. Well, I called the Navy and I said, yeah, is there a map of the no-fly zone? They said, no, there's no such thing as a no-fly zone. So realtors were mis-selling all this property in my area, showing people maps of no-fly zones, lying through their teeth to sell property. When I moved here 23 years ago, there were like 1 or 2 flights a week. Now I'm getting on average 30 a day over my house. Deafening sounds of jets over my house every single day when I go out. I can't even go outside my house and walk in my beautiful garden or visit with the beautiful deer that roams my forest because he's getting his ears damaged. And he's frightened for his life, and so are the little bunny rabbits in the yard. Doesn't matter. Headphones don't make a difference. I can use headphones, but it also breaks the capillaries in your liver. And causes strokes. A top epidemiologist has confirmed that this is a very dangerous place where I live. I'm not making any of this up. He's on record, and there's been lawsuits filed, and federal judges threw them right out. They said, no, we don't believe any of this. So I'm kind of in the crosshairs of a war machine called America, working constantly left and right to create more and more weapons of mass destruction to kill off the planet, being utilized by people from companies that are so wealthy and powerful that they'll never ever run out of money. Boeing, Lockheed Martin, they love it. If you had that in writing, you could have sued. Someone does have that in writing. They are suing. A woman is suing all the realtor agencies in our area over that lie about the no-fly zone. It's a lawsuit that's pending right now. The realtor agencies claim that there's no damages and there's nothing they can do. But a woman is suing. I haven't tracked her lawsuit, but she started a suit 3 years ago. I'm not suing anyone. It's not like I'm going to win. If I become president, I'm going to convert the entire Naval Air Station here to a modernized university, training people in developing robots, unmanned vehicles, and a drone missile defense system. The days of flying these behemoth piles of metal and bolts and screws are over. We'll be doing that down at China Lake. We'll still maintain our force here for security purposes, and we'll fly the jets occasionally, but most of the training will be done in an area that no one lives in except for a lizard. Right now, we got 50,000 people in harm's way, and the government, the commander, and the admiral don't even give a crap. So I will be holding them up to a higher standard in military court when I become president. I don't take this lightly. I consider it a crime against humanity that's going on right now. And this constant warring that's been happening in our country for years, we spend more on military armament than all the countries combined. To all the other countries combined, we spend more in America. So we're being manipulated. And our government's being used as the 911 police force around the world. And that's going to end up stopping too, because we can't keep building up armaments around the world and wasting our dollars on endless wars to protect heroin dealers in Afghanistan. It's ridiculous.
The camp, it looks like this.
Well, life inside the re-education camps in China. They are doing this now, yes. They are flying over our house daily. It's never been as bad as it is right now. It breaks capillaries to your liver and causes strokes. It fractures your liver is what it does. And, you know, I try to stay in my swim spa during the jet flyovers so that at least I have the water as a buffer so I can just swim, you know. But even water won't give me enough protection against the vibrations coming off of an F-18 flying at 500 feet above my house at 120 decibels because some idiot doesn't understand what they're doing. I don't know if I have a fractured liver. I have a liver guard that I wear. So, David, were you asked to speak at John McCain's memorial service? Of course not. I've been completely censored for 9 years. What about that do you not understand? Trump is not making friends with Canada or Mexico. He keeps insisting that Nieto is going to pay for the fence, or the wall. He refuses to listen to reality, Trump. Obrador is not going to pay for that wall either. So Trump has completely lost track of reality when it comes to working with Mexico and Canada. And he insists that Canada owes us money and they don't owe us a dime. He's completely lost. I mean, our president is incompetent. He doesn't even understand what's happening. And you continue to support him, which really shocks me, the amazing traitor nature of the Republican Party now. It just shocks me that you people are such traitors to our nation. My family fought the communists, and we're very proud to do that in the 1950s. And I'm writing about it in my book. I'm going to tell the whole story, what they told me. But I can thank my mother and father for stopping the communists in the 1950s. They were instrumental. They themselves, as former Marines, were instrumental in doing the right thing. And now I'm fighting the commies again, and you Republicans are so stupid. You somehow think that Trump's not being controlled by Vladimir Putin when he's literally done everything Putin asked. No, the New World Order actually uses communism. The New World Order is using anything they can to control people in various places. They could embrace Muslims in one country and Christians in another, or Jews in another. The New World Order is run by Zionists, people that want total global domination and want to promote a Zionist state to rule the world. It used to be Zionists were people that wanted a state of Israel, but that's the old definition of Zionism. Zionism didn't appear until about 100 years ago. Jews are not Zionists, per se. In fact, Jewish people have nothing to do with this. That's why when you people condemn Jewish people, it pisses me off, because in no way are they greedy. Ashkenazis are greedy. They're the ones that are the fake Jews that want to be Jews so they can make some money. I'm not cursing right now. Thank you. I can certainly tell you how my ancestors founded Harvard, but what's the point? That's another case I have to pursue. They struck my grandfather's history from the Harvard record. We don't have any record of him being one of the 15 trustees of that school, when in fact he was. No spamming allowed. I think we talked about that. We are being controlled by the New World Order. The Russian communists are being controlled by the New World Order. That's why I'm not angry at Russia, because they're being duped. Vladimir Putin is a New World Order puppet. It just so happens that Trump is Putin's puppet. Whoever runs Putin is hidden from view. Whoever's pulling his strings is hidden from view. The people that are controlling Putin are probably part of the 13 families that are the richest families in the world. They have a consortium of sorts. Not many people know about them. Pretty tragic about the shooting of this beautiful actress. These crimes are going on every day. I was swatted 3 years ago for no reason other than they didn't know that I was not the young teenager on the phone, even though I had already submitted a tape of my voice and our show 5 years earlier. And just 2 months earlier, I'd given my phone number. They didn't bother to call me. They swatted us 3 years ago here. But this woman had a kind of a similar attack. An actress who appeared in the TV medical drama ER and starred in Stand and Deliver. This woman is now dead, Vanessa Marquez. You probably remember her in the movie ER and Stand and Deliver. During an altercation with South Pasadena police, there's unanswered questions regarding her demise. What is known as the police were called by Marquez's landlord to perform a welfare check on the actress, who openly talked about her struggles with seizures, celiac disease, and fibromyalgia. She was suffering from a seizure at the time of the incident. So she's having a seizure. After waving a BB-8 at police, Marquez was shot and died at the hospital. Now, I went and looked up what a BB-8 was. And a BB-8 is apparently a toy from the Star Wars. She was holding a little toy in her hand when the police shot her dead. Now, how is that a weapon? Netanyahu is Jewish. If Netanyahu is the culprit of the Zionist movement, you got me on that, because I didn't realize he was a cold-hearted Zionist. But if he is, and that's their belief, they're confused. I think Netanyahu is a nationalist who strongly supports the state of Israel. Yeah, I know. The cops thought that was a weapon, and this woman is now dead. Netanyahu's a very interesting character. He actually exposed a lot of the facts that many people are confused about, that Hitler didn't even want to kill Jewish people. He did so upon the choice of a mullah. Here he is talking about what really happened.
And this attack and other attacks on the Jewish community in 1920, 1921, 1929 were instigated by a call of the Mufti of Jerusalem, Haj Amin al-Husseini, who was later sought for war crimes in the Nuremberg trials because he had a central role in fomenting the final solution. He flew to Berlin. Hitler didn't want to exterminate the Jews at the time. He wanted to expel the Jews. And Haj Amin al-Husseini went to Hitler and said, if you expel them, they'll all come here. So what should I do with them? He asked. He said, burn them. And he was sought during the Nuremberg trials for prosecution. He escaped it. Later died in cancer after the war, died of cancer in Cairo. But this is what Haj Amin al-Husseini said. He said, the Jews seek to destroy the Temple Mount. My grandfather in 1920 seeks to destroy the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So this lie is about 100 years old.
So when I talk about Zionism, I'm not referring to the state of Israel. I'm talking about people that already acquired a state of Israel and are now seeking global world domination. That's what I'm referring to. So I'm changing and morphing the word Zionism into what I think is the real threat now to our nation and other nations around the world. They're seeing people buying up the countries that need to be autonomous and separate. So you're telling me rabbis sent Jewish people to the concentration camps, not the mullahs? Okay. So that the rabbis told the people that the Nazis would send them to Palestine. Right. Well, that's concurrent with what Netanyahu just said. Yeah, Hitler was trying to, reposition these people as part of his final solution. Hitler was an Ashkenazi. And you won't get any record in history to confirm that Nazis, the name Nazi came from the word Ashkenazi. But it's a known fact that in linguistics, words are truncated if it's too difficult to say it. And it's a lot easier to call a bunch of greedy people Nazis than Ashkenazis. You look at the wiki and they'll tell you Nazi is somehow an acronym for National Socialism. That's just not the case. There's also a theory that Ignacio was the reason they called people Nazis, because it was the name of a poor farm boy that they made fun of. I don't believe that either. You'll read that in the wiki. Sarah is here. She just got back from our gathering in town. We have a music festival going on. It's 3 days of 30 musicians singing and 2 stages. It's called the Oak Harbor Music Festival. It is free, and she just saw a really good group. She'll tell you all about it.
Well, it is a fundraiser. They get money from the beer tent, and then also you can just donate. And a lot of the money actually goes to scholarships for music students here on our island. I was recognized by a fan one time. Yeah, that did happen once. It was yeah, it was fine. All right, so how are you all today? It's Friday, yay! End of the week normally, but yeah, it's the end of the week, yay! It's a music festival Labor Day weekend, yay! For a lot of you, if you wait. About which story, Misanthropy? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was in my own bubble. No, it's not a bird. Well, kind of. It is part of a bird. NPR. I didn't see the one about NPR, so I'll have to check it out again. I will show you it on Facebook. It is feathers. Oh, maybe I did have it in upside. No, I had it in right side up. It's feathers, and then it's a pin, butterfly pin. And on the back, it looks like this, so that I can open it up to put in my hair. Thank you, Ticken. Hero treatment, huh? Yeah, actually I wore this because I got this at the last music festival, and I have a pair of earrings I got on the previous music festival. I do buy myself something a little something nice usually at the music festival. I might have to buy a different like choker necklace to replace that one that broke yesterday. We'll see. But I do like this in my hair. I think it's cute. And it goes with my hair color. All natural hair color. I still haven't dyed it yet. So I went, and then I was like cold because I forgot to bring a sweater. So when I go tonight, if I go tonight, I'll definitely take a sweater with me because I was definitely chilly. Oh, this is the one Facebook NPR piece. Facebook took down the NPR report questioning the accurate number of school shootings from 2015 to 2016. Yeah. Claiming it was spam. Wow. I think that's ridiculous. It's from NPR. It's not spam.
It's confirmation that NPR is being censored by Facebook over this.
Yeah, Facebook is censoring NPR. That's ridiculous.
Hey, Misanthropy, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, David wants to ask Misanthropy a question.
Would you like to be our guest mod tonight?
Well, I'm not going to ask him, I'll just make it.
Go ahead.
Where is it? Mod. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, the responsibility, I have to leave now. He doesn't want to ban people. You don't have to ban people until you feel the urge.
Is mute and purge.
You could just mute and purge people. Who did you say I should make the moderator? Mutes entire room. Oh goodness. Icky and overloved. Sits here ignoring the spam. Exactly. I know. That's fine. That just makes David feel better. And then this is my other barrette. You can't, it looks like it's see-through because that part's green, like the green screen. And I lost an antenna. It has like a feather antenna on it. But anyway. I know. Yes. I've got cool berets. Barrettes. Cool barrettes, Sarah. Needed blue butterfly. They both have blue. Oh, well, they're mostly green, I guess. Oh, wait, I can't put that one in that side. And it always has to go from this side, so I'll do it like this. There we go. Alright, now I've got both my butterflies in my hair. Ah, yay. So Facebook is removing posts to npr.org. I think they don't want the world to feel safe. I think they just want to promote fear and anxiety, because that NPR article actually like made me feel safer, knowing that there's less school shootings than they thought there were. Yeah. Okay. I think I'll check out the news and then maybe I'll do trivia. I probably won't do trivia. Lobbyist pleads guilty, says he's helped steer foreign money to Trump inaugural and lied to Congress. Sam Patton flips and will cooperate with the special counsel's office. Manafort's ally to cooperate with the U.S. after guilty plea. He steered foreign funds to Trump inaugural. Wow. Oh. Oh, the power, misanthropy. You're feeling it. You're like, oh, I don't have to ban. I can unban. I highly recommend you don't unban all. That would not be good. You go to the penny candy store with 2 half pennies and you bargain the lady down every time. Come on, lady, I'll take this for half a penny and this for half a penny, and then you'll have a whole penny. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. U.S. and Canada failed to reach a deal on NAFTA. And Slate asks, is Donald Trump about to become NAFTA's savior? Yay. It's Friday night. People are out drinking. People are out listening to music. I could take David out. But I think he'd rather do the show. So. Oh, yay. A judge ordered a couple to turn over GoFundMe money that was meant for a homeless man. The couple raised $400,000 for a homeless hero, and they're ordered to hand over the funds. You raised it for him, not for yourself. Give it to him. Good. Is that you going out to get drunk, Chicken? Is that an emoticon of that? A Texas judge said he'll likely get rid of DACA, but not yet. Oh, good. Good, Angeltown. As long as you're happy. Oh. President Trump's leaked off-record comments complicate trade deal with Canada. Wow. You're proud of him for leaking off-the-record information, comments? I don't think that's something to be proud of. He blasted dishonest reporting for complicating a potential deal after off-the-record comments he made during an interview with Bloomberg leaked into the Canadian press. According to a published account of the president's leaked remarks, Trump told Bloomberg's News Thursday that he's not entertaining any compromises at all in discussions with Canada. But he cannot admit his posture publicly because it's going to be so insulting they're not going to be able to make a deal. Okay, so he didn't leak the comments. They leaked his comments. Got it. At an event on retirement security in Charlotte, North Carolina on Friday, he confirmed the off-record remarks that leaked out. Yeah, I guess you can't say off the record. That's not a legal term. They say the same things about Trudeau, that he's going to be very strong and not negotiate, even though they're going into a negotiation. $273 thinks no trade deal would be better than a bad one, like they had before.
Are you eating today at all?
Not a lot.
Okay, I'll make you something.
Not really, yeah. All right. Why are you doing shots, Jay Smith? Hello, I love fries. Your last news was that Canada is now agreeing with Trump about no tariffs and actually having free trade. Interesting. Jay Smith, you had barbecue chicken. Good. Hello, Barbecue King. And hello, inventor Jim Genius. Whoa, man. When Adam saw Eve, he said, "Whoa, man." And therefore a woman was born. I don't think I said anything that important, 273, sorry. Oh, good. The New Mexico compound gang has been arrested by the FBI. FBI arrests the 5 New Mexico compound suspects the day after multiple charges were dropped by the locals. The FBI has arrested them. Yeah. You guys have a good night for sure. I know you're okay. I'll unmod you. Misanthropy. No, I probably won't. Okay, I will. You don't want it. Who does want to be a mod? Does anybody want to be a mod at iVlog? Who should I make a mod? I love fries. Psycho Behavior wants to be a mod. Ticken wants to be a mod. Ticken doesn't want to be a mod. Okay. Sure. Let's see what happens. Your only task will be to unban people, anyone that David attempts to censor and ban. David won't like that. Having mod next to your name gets you attacked like Scissor Fight. Was... You unbanned Vika. Your job was done. The U.S. ended funding of a UN agency that supports Palestinian refugees. Flat Moon, you want to be a mod? How long have you been coming to our show? Oh, it's our first night. Abuse charges raise the pressure to reunite immigrant families. Trump administration is under increasing pressure to speed up the reunification of immigrant families separated at the Mexico border. Following allegations 3 youngsters were sexually abused while in U.S. custody. The government of El Salvador said the 3 people were ages 12 to 17 were victimized at shelters in Arizona, and they asked the U.S. to make their return a priority. Yeah, yay. Barely any of the trolls are here tonight. Yay. They're all enjoying some good music or something. They're all like, oh, David talks about that music festival. I'll go check it out. See if I can spot David. Thank you, 738, for the hugs. Good night. You don't feel bad? Bad for kids? You don't feel bad for kids forced into a prison by deadbeat parents? Make this the background. It's a whole YouTube video. Oh, right. Okay, will do. Everybody else is at Burning Man and I'm at my Oak Harbor Music Festival. Actually, I way would prefer being here than there. So great. Look, it's like you just get to look at the water while listening to music. How sweet is that? Actually, okay, I'm working on making this the background. Now I just have to move it down. Burning Man would have been fun to go to the first couple of years. Now it's just overcrowded. I don't know if Obama separated the families. I think they were all incarcerated as family units. Where is this place behind me? It's in some desert. Where do you get to go and listen to music and look at beautiful water? Oak Harbor. Oak Harbor, Washington. Yeah, I almost went to South by Southwest early on. About a decade, a little more than a decade ago, I think. I was thinking of going to South by Southwest, but I didn't. But all these people are just going from one place to another. Like, let's travel over here, let's travel over there. They're just traveling around in their bicycles. They call it the Burning Man Festival. I guess it's after some musician that talked about being in the desert and being a Burning Man. Yeah, it looks like it's getting dark there fast all of a sudden. 'Cause it is getting dark there fast all of a sudden. Yeah, that is a good question, 273. I like that question. And I would say, yeah, say that question counterbalances, that's a good argument. Okay. You think they travel faster when at nighttime? At this Burning Man location? Man. Your Burning Man ticket was $350 8 years ago. Now I hear it's up to like $800. I don't think I would ever do that. And then you have to provide all your own food and all that for that price. Was there an ambulance that drove by? I don't know. All kinds of weird people going hither and yon. You had the best time at Burning Man? What was so great about it, Jay Smith? Hello, Interlaken. Oh, you don't drive? That's why you live in California? You had the best time you made a float. Like this one going across the screen right now. It's looks like a sailboat float. Here it comes. Do you have your license, Misanthropy? Or you don't because you don't drive? It looked like tugboats with an island. Wow. Did you build the float before or after you went to Burning Man? Oh, you do have your driver's license. Okay. Before you work all year to go, and then you pay to get your whatever your float is. They don't like say, hey, we're gonna have a contest and whoever builds the best float gets to come hang out in the desert for free. Or hey, we're gonna have a contest if you build your float. Is that what it is? Like what's the cost for the garbage facilities? I'm sure it takes a lot to clean up after an event like this. I think Burning Man's a week long. I have no idea. Whoa, 714. Wow, you were able to prove that? I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm amazed you were able to prove it. And, wow. And look, now it's completely dark. That was definitely fast at Burning Man. Test 1986, you passed the test. So hello, Sellens. Everyone is at Burning Man or at the Oak Harbor Music Festival or spending time because it's Labor Day and they have to go to work soon, or they don't have to go to work, I mean, at least until Tuesday. I don't know. Those are all just hypothetical answers to your question. Those are the places that people could be. I don't know if they actually are there. You have family at Burning Man? Okay. Or at the bar trying to connect with people, but it's hard to connect with people because everybody's on their device and you can't just go up and say, hi, my name's so-and-so. It's hard to meet people. Hello, Howie. Yes, pretty much 583. Or it will next week, but yeah. Pretty much. So I'll come back as the tired Sarah from now on until next June. It's not quite a headache, but I am definitely tired, I would say. I didn't sleep very well last night, so I woke up pretty early and I had a long day, ate lunch late. I had a long day, longer than normal, much longer than normal, but I felt good because I got a lot done. this year, no homework. How do I want to be a better teacher? Yeah, your dad was a teacher, so you can know it's a bit of adjustment. Yeah. I made my own salad for lunch, which was pretty good. Also, this year I want to finish my master's degree. I want to, and I just want to be a better teacher and friend and colleague. All right. And then maybe helping students set their own goals might be good. Ask them what they want to get better at. I also want to focus on questioning. Too often teachers are asking the questions, and really I think students should be doing most of the question asking. Yeah, the master's will be good. Most of my master's is online. Actually, all of it's online. I'm going through a great university that's all online, and it's self-paced, so I can go quickly or slowly depending on what I want to do. So right now I'm at a point where I decided I'm going to wait until the next term to dive in. So that'll be good. Yeah, I like it because I've gone, some people go a lot quicker than me, but I've gone fairly quick enough for enough to like take it from what would have been 4 terms or 2 years down to it'll be a 1.5 years to get my master's, which is good. Yeah, it happens, 714. Kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Well, and I think what happens is the parents are embarrassed and they don't know how to react. And they take it out on the teacher sometimes. Most schools start a week or 2 before Labor Day. I don't know if ours just does this because of the Oak Harbor Music Festival is after Labor Day. Because I think before the Oak Harbor Music Festival, it would be like either the week before or the week of Labor Day. It would be like that. But now it seems like it always starts like right after Labor Day. Well, I will be getting my master's within the year. And so the next election is not till 2020. So I will be getting my master's before David becomes president. Oh, tobacco sauce? Is that your question? I don't know. I think I messed up with the Periscope chat. Okay, no. Hello, TVOLLIE. Your school started last week. Oh, this is their second week of school. And I think a friend of mine, she started, her school started on the 12th or 13th. So probably second week. think David will be president before the end of the world, yes. Biden school water disturbing Detroit just shut off all fountains. Wow.
You look great in that outfit. That's good.
You
on
like
you.
this?
Yeah.
I went and I didn't have this on when I was cold, so I put this on.
You needed it for sure.
I might also grab a jacket if anything.
That's a nice jacket. Yeah, we're going to be doing a show tonight till 9:30, and then we're going to be featuring.
Let me see.
The Hulu presentation, Crime and Punishment. It's a 1 hour and 52-minute video about a group of brave officers risk it all to expose the truth about illegal quota practices in police departments. Thank you. Yeah, this is Freedom Friday, so we're going to feature that. Sarah, if you go DuckDuckGo, let's see. Yeah, there's my name's in there. Yeah. Ben Union had 58 views. That's nice. Cool.
Yeah.
At least we're mentioned. Thanks.
Because I think it's because you did the words live stream.
Yeah.
Is this words you used?
Yep, that put us ahead.
And a lot of people don't always use those words.
No, I have to leave at 9:30 because we have to watch some shows tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to miss out on at least
David knows
an
I'll
hour
be
and a half of
working a lot
broadcast.
soon. And since I'll be working a lot soon, he wants to spend time with me.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the fact that you're watching the show. We'll talk more. I mean, we've got a great show over here. Guy Smiley just brought something into iBlog. We'll be here. I'll be here for an hour and a half, and then we'll go into the crime and punishment video, which won't be crime or punishment. It'll be, a reveal that quotas are being used against us in America.
If you need more of David, I suggest you go to youtube.com/America's Third Party. Go all the way back.
Yeah.
And start at the very beginning.
Actually, if they just click at the bottom of our page,
and watch all of David's videos.
If you click the bottom of our page, it'll go from video to video, and you can spend 30,000 hours watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one video to another, all the way to the beginning on YouTube. So, lead in U.S. school water disturbing. Detroit just shut off all the fountains, and we don't have any. We have a contaminated water problem in our area too. There's been some Navy flame retardant leaking into the groundwater, and it's contaminated our groundwater in our area, so that's a big problem. Yeah, thank you. Dave, the only religion I respect is Islam. Really? Well, out of the box, you can do that if you want. We believe in freedom of religion, and I made you rice and finish the fish and shrimp.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's brown rice. And peas. I put peas in there.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Yes, you can watch me 24/7 for 3 years. That's right. And I really appreciate the fact that Misanthropy found that link about NPR. That was a clincher because it kind of convinced Sarah that maybe some of these events that are going on around the country might not be 100% real. Now, a local billionaire is taking over the LA Times. Yes, he's taking over the LA Times. He's a local billionaire. There he is. His name is Local Billionaire. A biotech billionaire who purchased the LA Times with an eye toward restoring its independence and vigor will officially take control of the news organization Monday. Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong is spending $500 million to buy the Times, San Diego Union Tribune, Spanish language. It's just amazing all the typos you see now. It's phenomenal. I don't know if you've been noticing this, but I notice it all the time. Yeah, they're calling it the San Diego Tribune. Well, starting out on a good footing, misspelling the name of the paper, that would be a great start. All right. Good luck, Patrick. Wish you well. Yeah, local billionaire. David, do you think we'll all be killed? No. No, that's a very white supremacist attitude. We don't support that here, Lots Crony. I think people are going to have to just accept the fact that we're got to live together. I mean, if you want to go backwards in times, maybe, resurrect the great slavery supporter Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, you might want to do that. Thanks for kicking him. That one guest kicked guest 8-3. I didn't even read what he said. David, I feel you will protect good people. Yes, I really believe that that's our primary goal. I'm not going to be color associated with protecting people. If I see black people being brutalized by cops, I'm going to step up and make sure that cops get racial profiling education so that they don't racially profile people. And that's part of the sensitivity training I want to put together for all of our police forces. I'm a victim of the police force using violence against Sarah and I, just doing a show, and we were swatted unnecessarily and never even got a police report filled out on it. They're totally blew off writing a police report about the entire swatting incident. So technically it didn't happen, but it did happen. So I'm a little concerned. They're keeping it an open case because they're investigating who did it, but I saw no action in 3 years. But I feel like I can relate to how it feels to be swatted in that I was swatted. So the only good that came out of this is my commitment to getting these cops to realign their thinking and proceed with different procedures and protocols. Well, it was a violent act against Sarah and I. The mere swatting itself was a violent act perpetrated by some horrible, evil young person who had a weird teenager voice. And somehow the police were that out of it that they misperceived that person's voice and didn't check it against the records we'd supplied them for 5 years prior. And did somehow misplace my phone number, which was on file 2 months prior. And never even called me, instead set up an entire SWAT operation around our house 3 years ago and attacked us. It was violence against us, yeah. And it's sick that the police didn't weed that freak out when they called in. It's stupid that they didn't weed that person out. Well, I can't find excuses for swatters. I look at that happen to that guy in Des Moines, Iowa. He was shot by a cop who was on the movie Cops, the series Cops. Trigger-happy young cop who was pulled from duty and then put into a desk job, but should have been pulled from the force. He shot a man through the heart when all the guy did was like this. You can see it in the video. He went like this, and the guy put a bullet through his arm, through his heart, just moving like this. Crazy. The guy was completely unarmed. He was just going to the door saying, "Hey, Mom, there's some cops out in front of the door." And he opened the door and he got killed. And his family's suing the Des Moines police, but I mean, really? That's just outrageous. Yeah. Somebody had gotten into a fight over a gaming show with a hacker or some guy who's a serial swatter. And the guy said, "Oh, he's going to swat him." And then the hacker or the gamer said, "Well, he gave this fake address." And the guy went after the fake address. It turns out it's that guy at that house that, unbeknownst to him, was killed right after that. He didn't have a chance in hell. That could have happened to me. But it was only through sheer calmness and strength and will that I calmed myself down and said, "Okay, let's just get through this." It took about 10 minutes and it was over. But it became it was like a terrible intrusion on our lives. The police in New York City shot a boy right through the heart in the case of mistaken identity. Same thing, deadhead. And I'm hearing more and more of these cases. And this has been a nonstop problem in our country for some time. There's a site called killedbypolice.net, and it is perhaps the best site out there. Oh, I'm sorry, they closed down. Yeah. The guy can't support it anymore. Yeah, he closed his site down, so killedbypolice.net is no longer exists. Yeah, that's a story in and of itself. Good, you got an acceptance on your avatar. Have you seen the new app that Vaughn has that offers a choice of avatars? Yeah, let me just show you this for all of you at Vaughn. Yeah, you can, when you click the smiley face, it opens up this thing right here. And then you can scroll down and it has all kinds of choices. And not one of the choices is mine. You can't find the Sponheim thing there. But like, here's the pumpkin. Isn't that cool? Yeah, there is no Sponheim thing, even though it exists. Mark didn't add it to the app, or whoever built the app. Oh, today's your birthday. That's great. No problem. Thank you. Welcome. Happy birthday, Add the One. Well, you must be like 39 years old, I'm guessing. Maybe 38, maybe. I'm just guessing. So we found out that there's lead in schools in Detroit. Nobody's dealing with that problem. $31. Oh, good. 31. Excellent. Congratulations. Yeah, that's a big time in a man's life to be 31. Wow, Dave, just put him on blast. I did. What happened? Your son just found himself? What does that mean? He got a job, or he knows what he wants to do in life, or he discovered Jesus? I mean, that could mean a lot. Well, I don't think Detroit should have dirty water. I think we should provide fresh water for everybody. I want everyone to have a fountain in their yard of ever fresh, pure water. I want America's water to be the purest in the world. And I want it to be on tap. I want our tap water to be pure. Is that too much to ask? Because it'll never be pure. What if I gave you point-of-use filtration systems as part of a plan to help America drink cleaner water? That would be a nice thing. Filters on all of your outlets, at least one of your outlets. We could have filtered water for you. Yes, well, this is my ever-flowing source of fresh water, which will dry up pretty soon if you don't wake up. I know, it's not something I want either. It'll be taken away. The elitists are already buying up Sonoma County water rights while they dehydrate the atmosphere behind us. Soon everything will be all dead. The dolphins won't even be able to get us to clean the oceans because there won't be any dolphins left. They'll all be dead. Yeah? Hate to scare you, but I mean, it had to happen, right? Well, let's be clear. Uh-oh. This is scary. Now, this is a little bit weird. Yeah, I never understood that happy face thing. He didn't find Jesus, but he sees his future better. Good. Maybe he's just getting better at BSing his dad. You never know. If he doesn't work on it in the next 2 weeks, get on his butt and say, son, you said that you were going to do this. You're going to community college, you're going to get your AA degree. Ride him on all these things he said he's going to do. Yeah, don't hesitate to ride him. Hold him to his mark. I felt that my father kind of dropped the ball when I was swimming 100 laps a day in a swimming pool in my neighborhood. I really think that he should have stepped in and said, David, I think you should join the YMCA swim team. That's all he had to do. And I would have been the Mark Spitz of today. I mean, I probably am that good swimming. I still swim every day and I'm pretty fast. But I was never pushed at that critical time. I was only like 10 years old. That's the time to like give your kid a little push into one direction and see if he likes it. I would have loved it, I think, because it was like a duck to water. I really loved fishing, or rather swimming. Dave's parents should have wrote him to the Finnish college despite at the Marxist facility. You're probably right. In some ways, had my father and mother decided to pay for my education like the state wanted them to, that would have been a good thing. But they pulled the purse strings, and according to the taxes that they delivered on, my mother had an inheritance just 1 year prior to me going to college, and they factored that in, and that inheritance was huge. So it prevented them from actually getting me a college education for a scholarship. I couldn't qualify for anything larger than just matching funds for base amounts, like $3,000. But I would have had to pay another $5,000 for, say, Occidental College, which I could have gone to, and I would have been there with Barack Obama at the time. I do agree with you in a way, but my parents apparently decided to pull the plug on my education, and even though I was the valedictorian in my high school, number one in my high school class of 770 students, I was not given any scholarship. And I really have another beef to make with the affirmative action, because obviously I'm a victim of affirmative action. Many people today are victims of affirmative action. And if you're white, you don't get scholarships. That's the way it is. And I don't want to take away scholarships from people of different backgrounds. But when white people are selected as not to get a scholarship, that's a problem. They pulled the plug on it. No, I left because of the Marxist professors. I was financing my own education for a while. I even gave it a second try. I waited 8 years and went back to college and gave it one last try. And it was that's when I really encountered the Marxist professors. But I was financing my education then. There's no ship to go down, person of interest. No, Vaughn Live is making tons of money on me, and they want to see if I'll walk away. And I'm a person who will never walk away from any network that I get for free. So if I can get a network for free, and even obviously I'm bringing millions of people to this network that he's turning away, when he realizes that he's not in any way going to benefit long term from people that are bribing him, and he keeps his network going, and he realizes that all these people could easily become viewers, and he'd have millions of viewers, maybe he'll get his act together and he'll realize that this is a good thing. I'm not leaving the network. I built a network. A lot of people don't want to leave it. They like Vaughn. I built the America's Third Party channel on Vaughn, and it was a great way to deal with our migration from Blog TV. We had no other option at that time. 6 years ago, Blog TV was bought out from under us by a federal informant of some sort. The people that are threatening me tonight, I got a threat in our show. It says, David, I'm an associate of a very well-connected and highly regarded and influential politician. This politician is very wealthy and willing to offer you $3.5 million to cease your operations. I've said I've been offered $200 million. I turned it down. And then they said, David, let this be clear and very clear. You must accept this offer from the wealthy, influential politician who's my associate. Otherwise, you may be targeted. And it would be a real shame if you somehow canceled your show. Go ahead, cancel this show. My viewership will go anywhere I go. I'm at iVlog. We're doing it right now. Yep. David, can we be straight here with you? You must accept this offer from the wealthy, influential politician who is my associate. Otherwise, you may be targeted. And then we got another threat just after I knocked him out from another guest saying, David, I'm going to blow your head off with a shotgun. That's just a day in the life of doing a show against all odds. Every day we have a show like this. And every day we get death threats. I'd turn down $200 million because you can't buy me. I'm the unbuyable presidential candidate. I won't take any money to stop this show because this is a show I believe in, and I think the people need an honest man as their president. I'm sure they do. Manila, DeVoe, they all watch my show. But the point I'm making is I cannot turn down this opportunity to save this nation. Money is no value to me. I have all the money I could ever want. I don't understand why people think people are buyable. I've taught people how to live on next to nothing so that you wouldn't feel like you're buyable. So that you could live ahead of your means and not in any way let your means... Well, basically, if you live below your means, essentially, you save money. So you basically get below your means, and you'll be able to get ahead in this world. No, I'm sure that people are not going to like me. I accept that. But the fact is, we have to deal with some tough issues, and we haven't even begun. I'm not lying at all, Max. You're living in a world that's delusional. You somehow think you're getting paid to not be here. He said he gets paid $5,000 to not watch our show. Yes, I'm not Asian, you're right. But I'm not also African American. I could have claimed I was Native American because I have Native American roots. My great-great-great-great-grandmother was Algonquin. And I obviously have physical features that make me seem Algonquin to some people. I compare myself to this picture of an Algonquin Indian. And he's got a similar face to mine. You can see it. My eyes are wider than his, but you can see it in the upper mouth area. You see it? This is why my ancestry is important. But unlike Elizabeth Warren, I did not say that I was Native American to receive affirmative action money. I merely said that I was an American Caucasian, and then I was punished by the white man. Sorry. That's how it happened. 94.5% match. That's right. He's probably my uncle of some sort. But I'd never really participated in Native American activities, so I'm not integrated in their culture. I didn't think it was my right to declare that I was Algonquin to receive funding, like Elizabeth Warren did. And I don't think I have, I probably have less than 8%, maybe 3 to 5% Algonquin, something like that. I like Jewish people. I've never met Jewish people to be greedy. If anything, that they are extremely creative, fun people, and intellectual people of all kinds, sorts. I've met Jewish people throughout my life that have always been very interesting people, but never greedy per se. The Ashkenazis that I've met are very greedy. They are the scum of the earth when it comes to greed. And I'm not saying all Ashkenazis, because Anita's half Ashkenazis and she's not greedy. David Nation is half Ashkenazi and he's not greedy. But some of the ones that have surrounded Donald Trump right now, who claim they're Jewish, these Ashkenazis claim they're Jewish, they aren't really Jewish at all. Their mother's mother is not descendants of Abraham. That's like saying that I'm Elvis Presley. It's believed that in 1979, Elvis Presley appeared at the Merv Griffin show as Johnny Hara. We say yes, he did, you decide. Now, Johnny Hara was an impersonation artist during this time period. Okay, so this, as you can see, this is not Johnny Hara. I'm going to show you a picture of Johnny Hara right now.
Everybody.
Hey.
Just delivered Chris Sandy's
Stand by your man. Okay, Johnny Hara, where are you? Here we go. The legendary Johnny Hara. Let's take a look at Johnny Hara's face and compare it to this man right here. Stand by your man. Okay, and then compare my face to this man. So I'm not Elvis Presley. As you can see, I'm not. Thank you very much. I'm not Elvis Presley. But this guy really does look like it is definitely not Johnny Hara. So, who is this guy that impersonated Elvis Presley so well? Well, these and other questions we talk about on our Conspiracy Monday night. And I'm not going to play it right now just to give you a taste of it, but he was really nervous. Yeah, D.T. Laura was the one that brought this to my attention, but this is not Johnny Hara. So many people believe Elvis lived, and we talk about that on Conspiracy Monday. He was caught in a bar singing with his son. Well, I play that all the time, person of interest. You've been in our show. That internet video comes out of our show every night. I mean, I always bring up Elvis being alive. I think it's funny. It's makeup. I know it's makeup. That's why Elvis didn't want to look the way he looked. He was pretty messed up at that time. I mean, can you imagine? He had to fake his death. He had to come back to live in the underground bunker in Graceland. And then he had to revive himself for one last appearance on Merv Griffin. I mean, you needed makeup. He needed face makeup. You didn't like Elvis's music? What about a hard-headed woman, soft-hearted man, been the cause of trouble ever since the world began? Oh yeah. What about that? Or Rock Around the Clock, or anything? You don't like any of Elvis's music? He's the king of rock and roll, and you don't like him. You probably don't like the Beatles too. One of Salty's jobs at 20 was life insurance. So you talk about yourself in third person. Salty Dog Demand says, yes, one of Salty's jobs at 20 was life insurance agent, good commissions. For those interested, a good book is Frank Betger's How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Sales. You know, I know a guy who would love to read that book. Play that video, Dave. Yeah, I can do it. We have the ability. Won't you love me tonight? Suspicion's a good song, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, from Memphis, Tennessee, I bring you Elvis Presley, 2011. Wasn't that great? Now that's Truth Is Marching On. That's Elvis Presley, everybody. He was like 75 right there. He's 83 now, I guess. Or no, that was 7 years later, so. He's 82, 80, 81, 82. Elvis, if you're listening, we need you to make one more appearance. Do it for your daughter, you know. Yeah, Lisa Marie's in terrible straits. She doesn't have to pay her estranged husband any child support. Excuse me, he's the child. Any alimony. Thank you. They met face to face, in some sort of a court situation. But she's got another court case pending against her lifelong financial manager that lost $100 million. And Lisa Marie Presley, of course, had this bitter ex forced to meet face-to-face during the divorce procedure. But she doesn't have to pay him a dime, so that's good. But she's still waiting for a ruling in her case where her financial advisor took $100 million and left her nearly penniless.
I had a therapist, and she was like, "You're a miracle. You really are." She's like, "I don't know how you're still alive." I'm not perfect. My father wasn't perfect. No one's perfect. You know, and it's what you do with it after you learn, and then you try and help others with it.
Helping and healing through music, sharing another piece of herself and her legendary father with the world.
I do think he'd be incredibly proud of this record.
Okay, well, good. I didn't know Dr. Drew was still working. Okay, yeah, so Lisa Marie is I'm hoping she makes a comeback, like does a casino tour or something to help her financially. But if her dad could join her, Elvis, that'd be great if you could. If you're listening, I know you're sitting on the easy chair, you got a little belly, but we know we love the way you sing, Elvis. We'd love to hear you sing one last time. Do it for Lisa Marie, Elvis. Put yourself on the listing, and I guarantee you guys could probably book stadiums in the United States. I know, he's living and doing fine. Let's take a look. We have digital imagery of Elvis Presley outside of his retreat. Is this how Elvis would have looked at 80, according to a digital image restorer? How he might have aged. My goodness, it's him. I saw him at Burger King last week. He was eating a double Whopper. Ladies and gentlemen, the king is alive. Maybe he had a facelift. Maybe he came back as a regular episodic TV guy. A hunka burning love. A hunka burning love. A hard-headed woman, soft-hearted man. Well, that would be kind of trippy if it really was me. But it's not. I'm not Elvis Presley. Okay. Here they are celebrating his 80th
We're very proud. We have two little ones here. We're also very proud. So thought it was very important that we're all here, and happy to be here with you, and thanks again.
To share this with you has really been very rewarding.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Priscilla's going to do the honors and cut the cake. We're serving. And of course, it's also 12 degrees, so the cake's a little solid, so we're going to have to thaw it out. It takes a family to cut a frozen cake. But congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elvis. And he's probably in the audience watching. Did you see him looking in the back of that window there? I saw Elvis in the audience, sure. Yeah, why not? What did his father look like at 81? Whose father? Who are we talking about? Hey, Furry Pants, we had a great, really good lunch that I made on Thursday, last night. It was good. You can get a copy of it. It's beef stir-fry pasta. Yeah, I never thought I could do it, but I pulled it off. And I added some ketchup at the end, like a barbecue ketchup kind of thing. And it tasted really good. It was surprisingly tasty. The dinner, we stored it away for freezer food. But man, that roast beef, when you see it sliced in the packages and they put it on sale, buy it. It's the tenderest beef you can buy. I got that 12 ounces for $1.99. It was really tender. Yeah, check it out. My YouTube videos have all kinds of cooking recipes. So you can actually save money on your dinners. All right, so yeah, you talked to him 2 years ago? Are you making this up, Salty Dog? A lot of things we see you say doesn't... That guy did look 75, yeah. How old do you think that guy looked in the picture? notice that movement he had with his hands? That's classic Elvis. He frequently put his hands up here in almost everything. Oh, that's Elvis Presley, beautiful cat Fluffy. Oh yeah. He was at this performance at Denton, Benton, Arkansas, and Pastor Bob Joyce, and they all had this meeting, and yeah, it was him. I'm telling you, they did this thing out there in the veranda. Listen to him sing this right now. Isn't this exciting? This is what I do for fun. Yeah, I didn't like the son in the video, but that's his half son through a second marriage that didn't work out. But the bottom line is, really, Elvis made an appearance a couple times, and those people weren't grieving in that video I just showed you of Lisa Marie and Priscilla. Did you see any grieving? I mean, it was like a jovial moment, man. Everyone was having a good time.
There's the first piece of frozen cake. Happy birthday, Elvis!
Happy birthday, Elvis! And this isn't the first time that Lisa Marie Presley has admitted that Priscilla Presley admitted that her husband was in fact alive. Yeah, and talked to him just the other day. I know this is shocking to you, but deal with it, okay? I'm going to play a video from Oprah Winfrey, in which Priscilla Presley admitted that she was, in fact. Let's take a look. Priscilla. Oh, Priscilla. Here she is.
Privileged children are, And Elvis wanted her to have everything. Because he didn't really know. He too grew up very, very poor. Yeah, poor. And it's exactly what he said the other day. Poor, right. Very poor. Yeah, poor. And it's exactly what he said the other day. Poor, right. Very, very poor. Yeah, poor. And it's exactly what he said the other day. Poor, right. Poor.
Okay, so you saw her say this. Yeah, it's exactly what he said. How could he have said that exactly the other day? He true grew up poor. But it's exactly what he said the other day. Why would she say that? Because he really did say it the other day. That's the only logical explanation. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Presley. Thank you very much. Okay, we've done with that. I take Freedom Friday, go do a tangent discussion. Sometimes I talk about how Paul McCartney was replaced by Fall. I sometimes talk about Ellen DeGeneres being working directly for the mob, but I have no proof of that. No. But when she did interview that guy, Jose Campos, the only witness to Stephen Paddock at Mandalay Bay, it kind of shocked me when she was the only person who interviewed Stephen or Jose Campos, and then he fled to Mexico. Paul McCartney, yeah, the original Paul died. Yeah, he did. But the guy that replaced him is so talented, it's beyond belief. I absolutely love the music that the Beatles created after they replaced Paul McCartney with Fall. Really? There is proof Mick Jagger has been replaced too? Are you serious? Stand by your man. Mick Jagger is, I can see how his facial features have changed over the years. I mean, I got that. CBS News, John Kerry won't rule out 2020 White House run. John Kerry wants to run? That's so funny. There'll be help in our time. Help is on the way. John Kerry needs to be charged with something.
I'm not thinking about it right now.
But I hear the passion in your voice.
I've never retreated or retired. I've been speaking out and working internationally. But talking about 2020 right now is a total distraction and waste of time. What we need to do is focus on 2018. We need to win back the confidence of the country to...
There are people that say that John Kerry's been replaced.
Move in a better direction.
I got people saying that too. Everybody says everybody's been replaced. There are people that say I was replaced. Let's take a look at Mick Jagger. His earlier pictures had a different lip formation. It's true. He would have had to have massive plastic surgery to look differently. I mean, what if Mick Jagger was in fact replaced by none other than David Sponheim? The thought is ridiculous. I don't think it's possible. I can't imagine it. Hello, David. I'm so glad to be here with you. Yeah. But the earlier pictures were more of a kind of a young man. I think his lips got smaller as he got older, I think. Don't you think? I think that maybe his... You know, he was close friends with Jimmy Savile. Mick Jagger is Steve Tyler, right? Jimmy Savile is the guy who's a alleged molester and warlock, some sort of a Satanist. And Jimmy Savile was engaged in some pretty weird stuff that they found out after he died. But I don't think in any way Mick Jagger was in any way involved in anything like that. Yeah. John Kerry, help is on the way. He represents the oligarchy of our country, profiting from his investments as senator. I think John Kerry is exactly the opposite of what we need in the future, not somebody who's bought off and owned by the powerful hierarchy. He would be a bad choice. El Deuterino just lost his place in the show. He's really basically Melko, a guy who's been stalking us for the past 6 years. It's crazy. I've asked him to leave the show and he just keeps coming back. I think Keith Richards is an example of human stamina. I don't think anybody who looks like him could live this long. He's outliving every other drug addict in the history of drug addicts. And it's his clean lifestyle when he cleaned up and got off of the drugs and don't do the drugs anymore. He's got a unique perspective, I must say. I mean, but he makes Bob Dylan look good, you know? Keith Richards has got to be... I mean, I even say that Tom Waite... He looks a little bit worn, you know? Scissor Fight says I look a lot like this guy. I see a similarity in the face. I do. I mean, he's me on a bad day, you know? When you think about it. Tom Waits rules, yeah, he does. And his music is so introspective, you know, that's what I like about it. And he really goes deep into the whole attitude. He's been there, done that. I don't think he's been I think he's been in every single dang bar in the world and played like till his guts burning up, you know, and the guy's been there, done that. Tom Waits is amazing. All right, let's talk about police brutality because that's obviously on the list. Vietnam War footage, I Shall Be Released. Wow, that looks really good. Everything is gonna be good. I can't play it right now. I'll play it after the show. Maybe later. I'll add it to my list for later tonight. Because they're going to monetize it. They want to make money on it. Yeah. Well, that's been good. We've got a great music festival we're going to be going to earlier tonight. So I'm cutting the show a little short at 9:30. But we've had an amazing lineup of people over the years at this music festival. And some of the top stars...
Celebrate!
Some of the top stars are going to be down there, and you know, I thought it'd be kind of fun to dress incognito and go down there and just check it out. Being it's free and it's a music festival, I mean, how can you lose, right?
Your love of live music Labor Day weekend at the Oak Harbor Music Festival. Don't miss this free 3-day end of summer blowout with live music from the James Barker Band. Saturday on the Island Thrift Stage, as well as over 30 other bands, plus food, beer and wine garden, arts and crafts, camping, and so much more. The free Oak Harbor Music Festival, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday Labor Day weekend. Thanks to Annie Cash, your friend and realtor. Details at oakharbormusicfestival.com.
Yeah, they've been really, really successful with these venues, and for some reason, the cities really they keep doing it. So I guess they make money doing it. I don't know. Hello, David. Anton. Are we friends? I didn't know. Well, the mystery of Llewellyn Moss, No Country for Old Men. It is a theory that Llewellyn Moss, Josh Brolin, the man who steals the bag of money and tries to outrun the evil Anton Chigurh, is not killed when the movie says he's killed. In fact, he's still alive, hiding out, perhaps in preparation for a sequel. I think Josh Brolin has got another sequel coming. So that's your answer. He was a star on Mighty Ducks. Okay, and what's going on? What? He shows a fall from grace. Oh, he was a Mighty Duck star, and he's down and out, living on the street. This 1990s child star has been arrested for public intoxication and was previously arrested for meth possession and theft. See, there you have it. Don't become a famous star when you're a kid, or you end up on the street. Okay, here's a story. Whoa.
I think there's only one source for this. Adrenaline, man. From a living human body.
Okay, why child ritual sacrifices used by Hollywood politicians and the elite? That looks really good. I'm going to play that in the late show. During the 2-hour break, I'm going to be actually giving you Crime and Punishment, a video on Hulu that we were playing. Yeah, there it is. So this will be the upcoming video we'll be looking at. I used to know an Elvis impersonator when I was in Hollywood. He used to do gigs all the time. It was pretty funny. Yeah, that'll be good. It's about the quotas that cops have to face when they pick people up. It's kind of an inside look. Should be interesting and informative. All right, and then we'll be back. We'll play you Adrenochrome after I return. So we've done this over the past few years. Sarah and I go out to the music festival, just hang out and have fun. One time I was experiencing when they first had the festival. They had a barbecue setup that was kind of upwind from us in the beer area. I don't drink beer, but I was sitting there, and we were all breathing fumes and everything. And I complained to the barbecue guy because I saw he was using lighter fluid on the burgers. Right under the burgers, he'd be spraying lighter fluid. I said, dude, do you really think you should be spraying the lighter fluid on the burgers? And he threatened, it went right up to me, and I have it on film, and he like made a threatening gesture. And I just like walked away. I was like, no, thank you. There were like 5 cops around me at the time. But I put it all on video. It's out on YouTube still. I won't play it for you though. Wooly Bully, Vietnam veteran, Vietnam long version. Okay, Wooly Bully coming up. Deadhead. Wow. Yeah, I said I had an IPA last week, but I don't drink beer usually. Yeah. If I start to drink beer on a regular basis, I'll make you fully aware of it, okay? I have never been a drinker. Yeah, I will have a beer on occasion with a friend. I have all the friends I used to have, they're all alcoholics now. When they get me on the phone, they're like, "How you doing, Dave? It's really good to talk to you, man." I was like, "Yeah, it's great to hear from you." "Oh, I called you. I thought you called me. I'm sorry." It's like, dude. Yeah, so it's getting a little bit tedious. I don't call them anymore. And when they do call, they're always drunk. And these are functional alcoholics. One guy told me one time, he said, "Hey Dave, I want you to know I'm in the 1% now." It's like, who cares? I don't care if you're a 1%er. God, it's so meaningless. What do you mean? People call me all the time during the show. We have the YouTube opportunity. Or excuse me, the Skype call. Skype calls come in. We do Skype. We did them last night. Anton, you seem a lot like Melko. Could you be a little less like Melko and then you won't get banned? Thanks. Zetterbeard's in the iVlog show. That's cool. Exactly. Pretend like you don't know who Melko is. Yeah, Zetterbeard's down there, hanging out. There he is. He's got the side of his head there. He's a guy who's been stalking us for about 6 years. Not Zetterbeard, Melko. All right. Well, this is becoming kind of a daily event, just bringing up the garbage that Trump has always got garbage around him. It seems like the news is always about we have a new one. Manafort associate pled guilty. Agrees to cooperate with the Mueller investigation. A lobbyist has pled guilty, says he's helped steer foreign money to Trump inaugural and lied to Congress. Nice. So foreign money got Trump elected and you guys still support Trump? That just blows my mind. You Republicans are still standing behind Trump even though foreign money got him elected. I can't play any of these Run Through the Jungle or Wooly Bully. That's all monetized music. Every time I play something that's off the top, it'd be great. Hey, you know, a lot of people don't realize that many musicians, many film directors and writers and producers have gone off the deep end and tried to help reveal what's really happening, but none more than Aaron Rousseau, who ended up dying of bladder cancer, which might have even been arsenic poisoning. We don't know, but I'm going to show you a video right now of Aaron Rousseau talking about his relationship with Nick Rockefeller. And Aaron Rousseau, from freedom to fascism, all kinds of work that he did back in the day. Hello? Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, hang on just a second.
My friendship with Nick Rockefeller was one where we expressed ideas to each other and thoughts and philosophies, and he wanted me to become part of what they were doing, and for me to become a member of the CFR, and offered various business opportunities for me to get involved in, and for me to not take up the fight or the battle that I've been taking up in the past, to drop that idea, because what was the point of my fighting for the people? I was a guy who was very successful in the movie business, and I saw the truth of what was happening. I tried to express it to the people, and rather than having me express it to the people, they wanted me to join their side because I was a mover and a shaker, and rather than me opposing them, to join them. It was real simple, and he tried to recruit me into that situation, and I didn't go for it. And he's the one who told me 11 months before 9/11 ever happened that there was going to be an event. Never told me what the event was going to be, but there was going to be an event, and out of that event, we were going to invade Afghanistan to run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We were going to invade Iraq, to take over the oil fields, establish a base in the Middle East, and make it all part of the New World Order. And we'd go after Chavez in Venezuela.
Everything he said came true. I mean, this video was taken back in the 90s. Everything Aaron Rousseau said was true. He died. Well, they say that he might have been killed. Arsenic poisoning is very similar to bladder cancer. And he died of bladder cancer. And he did this great movie called From Freedom to Fascism. We used to run it in our show at night. It's like a 3-hour movie. But it talks about how the Rockefellers have this plan to dominate the world. And we're not part of it. They want to get rid of and depopulate the earth. They've even talked about getting rid of 95% of the population. So it's no joke that this is really happening. I mean, we're sitting in our life, we're sitting and watching it take place. Bad people have been making plans behind the scenes. People like Brzezinski, Zbigniew Brzezinski. Listen to this evil man who just died this past year, but he left 3 of his kids in charge of operations.
The lethality of their power is greater than ever. Their capacity to impose control over the politically awakened masses of the world is at a historical low. I once put it rather pungently, and I was flattered that the British Foreign Secretary repeated this, as follows. Namely, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people, literally. It was easier to control 1 million people than physically to kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people.
Oh yeah, we want people like that at the helm of the Council on Foreign Relations. Can you believe that, Zetterbeard? It was like, these people are so sick. We all figured it out. I mean, once the internet came into existence, everyone started tuning in, and frankly, I was a little bit out to lunch back in the day. Hey man, I was a little bit, when I first started doing my show in 2008, I was completely stunned by this question. What do you think about the Illuminati? It's like, yeah, well, they're obviously into lighting, so they must have a really illuminated lighting facility somewhere. I had no idea what the Illuminati was. Everything okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. I had no idea, and I then did my research, and in 2009 I researched the New World Order, and I got knowledge from other people, and I investigated that.
You're okay. I'm going to take a nap, right?
Okay, yeah, take a nap. I'll be ready at 30. Yeah.
Or at least rest.
Yeah, get some rest. So I became aware through the internet like you did. Many of us have been tuning in and researching things on our own, and we finally came to realization time. When we see these things going on in our government, we can see that corruption is written all over the wall. I mean, the handwriting is on the wall. It's all plainly evident. we don't have a NAFTA deal. U.S. and Canada have failed to reach a deal. Trump really alienated our trading partner, Trudeau. We're not in a good place with other countries. He just imposed $200 billion more on China. Not going very well at all. Brzezinski's daughter is one piece of work. Really? You know, I've never met his children, but if they're anything like their dad, they've got to be some really twisted individuals. And the federal judge is refusing to shut down the DACA program, the Dreamer program that Obama put into office, into operation. Trump's not going to like that. Burning Man has been asked to shut down the entry after overselling the event. It's getting too dusty out there. It's like a dust storm out in the middle of, I guess, Nevada. It's just crazy. Look at this. How can you have a good time when you're breathing fumes and dust? It's just crazy how these people go out there. Yeah, the Illuminati did try to embed themselves in the Freemasons. Weishaupt, the originator of the Illuminati, was just a splinter group. They've redressed themselves and acted like Masons were involved. Freemasons, by and large, know nothing about the Illuminati. Tech Walla, who comes in here all the time, he insists that it's a plan perpetrated upon the Masons. I'm more than willing to look at every single side of the story and give everybody a place at the table. I don't mind discussing all these issues. But yeah, that's crazy. So they're turning people away. The Burning Man organization might as well hang a sorry come back later sign at their entry. Before the event finale, organizers are shutting down the entry after they oversold the event. 70,000 paid participants. The population rose to 70,358. Basically, they violated the terms of the multi-million-dollar federal permit and is subject to penalties. The question is, how did 358 people get in unpaid? That's what I'd like to know. Did they come in the cargo area of one of Elon Musk's motorhomes? Yeah, just stuff them in the cargo area in the motorhome. Yeah, they'll never even check the shower. Yeah, I'm sure a few people came in that way. Yeah, $425 to $1,200 per ticket to go to Burning Man. We were looking at people were renting motorhomes out of LA last week. And you could rent a motorhome for the weekend for $5,000. You know, like I really need a motorhome to go breathe diesel and dust and all that crap that's out there. I just think it's become kind of a joke. It's a billionaires row they have where they have the top chefs in the world. You don't get any of that food. You don't get entry. You get to see this big black guy or somebody really huge stand there guarding the door going, yeah, I don't think Elon knows you. No, man, I know Elon, man. I mean, no, I don't think he does. What's your name? Dave Sponheim, man. No, I don't have you on the list. You know, so you can only imagine, and you want to eat really good food that Elon's chefs are preparing right now. Yeah. Or maybe you want to get into that dome, that orgy dome. Yeah, and you want to be one of those 5,000 people that have wild sex every single Burning Man. Yeah, they have condoms, so apparently you're protected. I just think the whole event is almost dark and evil. I don't know. Some of you getting, I don't know, Vibes Live is in here. I don't know what the impression people get from people gathering together to burn things, but it doesn't sound godly, does it? It sounds pretty, more like Sodom and Gomorrah. And then, of course, that guy that burned himself to death that ran into the fire last year. I certainly hope they put up fencing. Can you imagine? If they do this again this year, and Sunday, I guess, is the big grand finale, we'll have this on video. If they do this again this year, without fencing around that fire, then they are complicit in killing somebody by emulation. Here's footage of Elon Musk and Bezos en route to Burning Man. Okay. They got the beer. Oh, there they are, yeah. They're driving. They're taking their car. Here they are, yeah. Whoosh, they're flying through the air, look at that. That's a Tesla evading cops in a street scene that we saw last week. Thank you. So campsites cost extra. You don't even get a campsite for $425 to $1,200 per ticket. Thanks, chat room celebrity. Well, I'm glad that you're glad that Tesla's winning Canadian court cases. But did you hear Elon Musk double down on the pedo guy last week, claiming that he still is wondering why no one's presented any evidence that the pedo guy that saved 12 Thailand boys, no evidence the guy's a pedo guy, or he was going to talk to lawyers. But Tesla's like saying, he's like egging the guy on, saying, how come I haven't been sued yet? How come no one's come up with the evidence? It's like, dude, you're dating a woman that looks like she's 16 years old. What do you do with people like this? Okay, now if I could find her birth certificate, it'd be one thing. But, I mean, she looks 16 to me. You're telling me that girl's 30 years old? Seriously? I find that really hard to believe that girl is 30 years old. Sorry. Whatever. Yeah, oh yeah, and here's another picture. I don't know, somebody got a fake ID or something along the way. I mean, so you're saying that girl's 30 years old and she's dating him? I don't know. Something's not right here. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, no. Sorry. I heard her music and frankly, I was not impressed. Okay, really sad, tragic news. This actress, Stand and Deliver actress Vanessa Marquez, has been killed by police. There she is, Vanessa Marquez. You remember her at ER and Stand and Deliver? She just was killed, 49 years old. They did a welfare check on her. And then she was waving a BB-8 at police when she was shot and killed. Now the cops decided to kill her simply by holding an item from Star Wars in her hand. So now an item from Star Wars will get you shot and killed by cops. Wow. Unbelievable. So we got enhanced video tonight of the 9/11 attack, real late at night. I'll be doing that in the evening. A video came in from Techwalla that shows 38 minutes of, or 30 minutes of nonstop footage of 9/11. Let's get a little sample of it right now. Unreal. Can you imagine that Rudy Giuliani, the mayor, didn't even bother giving them air masks? I find that to be a absolutely atrocious reality check. That a mayor wouldn't authorize air masks and get them to everybody in that city. That man is complicit. No, we don't take your calls, Tim. Sorry. Milko, I'm not really sure if you're, yeah. Anton, you don't seem like you've ever been here, and you look a little bit weird. Yeah. Nope, we don't take that call either. Phil Schneider was the son of Philadelphia incident engineer that lately went to Area 51. Oh, okay. Well, you know that John Denver his father was a test pilot for Area 51? You know, Rocky Mountain High in Colorado. And tonight later, life inside China's re-education camps.
School made of red bricks, a very vast area. We had guards around us all the time. And I would think, why are we here? Why don't we just die instead of facing such hardship?
Yeah, people don't even know about the re-education camps China has. Very secret. Entire cities where people are sent to be educated in the proper communist way. Aren't you glad you don't live in China? Okay, we got Mr. Right requests coming up. People are looking for some big dabs. They're going to try to take themselves to another level in recreational states around the country. And I do support legalization, in case you didn't know. And that's another reason why I'm Mr. Right for America.
My feet, my heart stops to beat, cause you make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good to be true. My world around, cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, cause you make me melt away.
All right, you had your dab time there. Stay within the time allotted for your dabs in recreational states. Well, the first responders are all dead. Yeah, so they would be the biggest threat to the official narrative. So you're right. It makes sense Giuliani wouldn't want to give them anything to breathe. Yeah, you made a good point, Anton. Yeah, you're on the right track there. Good thinking. I like the way you think. All right, well, we've got a new mod today in our show. And I want to congratulate you. Unfortunately, he's not in the show. No, he is. Yes. We're giving Misanthropy mod status. You don't want mod status for the evening? Did you reject mod status, Misanthropy? We're going to give you temporary mod status for tonight. Did he reject mod status? I think you did. You forgot to dab, you were so high, so you want me to play it again? Wow. Well, I guess he didn't want the mod status. Okay, thank you. We're going to give you temporary mod status. It's just strictly temporary tonight. We just want to make sure if somebody does attack our show, you can mute or purge. You can ban the guy if he's spamming, you know. Okay, Montana collects $1.8 million in medical cannabis tax revenue the first year. That's not bad. You know, Washington State's collected nearly $800 million. But that's not bad. Montana's on its way. Okay, we'll make you a mod. Yeah, tonight. So coming up at 9:30, and I won't be gone for more than an hour and a half. So. The Google censorship is coming down. Yeah, it is. The hammer is hitting a lot of people who've had their sites knocked off YouTube. There you go. Let's watch some of this.
A Slate article
references a study by Jonathan Albright, director of the Tao Center for Digital Journalism at Columbia, who found 9,000 videos on YouTube with titles that are, and I quote, a mixture of shocking, vile, and promotional themes that include rape game jokes, shock reality, social experiments, celebrity pedophilia, false flag rants, and terror-related conspiracy theories dating back to the Oklahoma City attacks in 1995. Ms. Downs, does Google think that this is a problem, and what is the solution that you're coming up with to address it?
Thank you for the question. So as you noted, when Alex Jones posted the video you described saying that the survivors of the Parkland massacre were crisis actors, that violated our harassment policy. We have a specific policy that says if you say a well-documented violent attack didn't happen and you use the name or image of survivors or victims of that attack, that is a malicious attack and it violates our policy. In terms of conspiracy theory content generally, our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users. So we have
Our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users. In other words, our goal is to promote the status quo and never question authority.
two principles that guide the way here. That's the first one, is we want to provide users with authoritative, trustworthy information.
I'm sorry to cut you up. I only have a minute and a half, and I don't really need to hear what you're trying to provide. I want to know how you're dealing with all these conspiracy theorists on your platform.
So the first way is by demoting low-quality content and promoting more authoritative content, and the second is by providing more transparency for users. So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have...
No, she's not admitting she's manipulating the entire network news that we get filtered through the internet. She's, you know, this is really interesting. We just played a video the other night showing a person did a word search for 9/11 hoax. That's all they did was look for 9/11 hoax. And every single video on YouTube, every single video has the mainstream narrative that 9/11 was a terrible attack on our country by 18 terrorists from Saudi Arabia. Yeah. No questions about 9/11 being a demolition or an inside job or a cover-up. You go look for 9/11 hoax on YouTube, it's all been filtered, completely cleaned. They've revised history. These are historical revisionists operating under the ranks of authority. Yeah. Nebraska would be a cool place to just sit and do nothing and watch football games. And eat corn. I'm surprised how many people eat corn. I have a local farm that offers 4 pieces of sweet corn for $1. You know, the market price is like 2 for $1 now, even in the high of the season. And, oh, good story. Thank you. I'll bring that up. And people stop on the road. You wouldn't believe how many people stop and get 4 for $1. Or 8 for $2. It's just amazing how many people eat corn. And they don't care if it's genetically modified or whatever. If it's sweet corn, they want to eat it. And it's amazing to me how many people are just not into corn right now. It's just, you know, I used to love corn. But, you know, it's not exactly good on your teeth. It's kind of tough. Okay, here's the story of a couple who... They found a homeless guy who gave him $20 for gas, and then turns out that they put the show on the YouTube, and they then set up a GoFundMe page, and they managed to collect $400,000 for this homeless man. This is the couple, Kate McClure and Johnny Bobbitt, in a photo that started for him. They started it for him. The couple who raised more than $400,000 for a homeless man after he used his last $20 to bill to fill up the gas tank of a stranded motorist in Philadelphia must now turn over what's left of the cash. A New Jersey judge issued the order Thursday during a hearing on the lawsuit brought by Johnny Bobbitt, so he got representation. He worried that Mark D'Amico and Katie McClure have mismanaged a large portion of the donations raised for him on the GoFundMe page. The officials said the couple had mixed the GoFundMe money with their own. They also claimed to have given Bobbitt $200,000, but his attorneys say he only received $75,000. I'll be completely surprised if they spent $200,000 on Johnny Bobbitt, said Bobbitt's attorney. The couple denies the claim, saying they're wary of giving Bobbitt large sums because they fear he'll buy drugs. But the judge ordered the transfer into an escrow account by the end of business Friday. Hire a forensic accountant to review the financial records within 10 days. Oh, he'll have it all withdrawn and he'll be buying drugs with it. People who live on the street oftentimes, blow it all in a few days. I saw that. I saw Bill looking at Ariana. I saw that. I hope Hillary doesn't find it. Bill viewing Ariana. Here we go, live. No, that's Katy Perry. Wrong. Hey, Bill. Bill took a peek. See that? There he is. Ha. Bill's looking at it. It's not Ariana. It's Katy Perry. I never had sexual relations with Katy Perry. Ever. Okay, and moving on. Yeah, so good. I hope that the guy is going to get whatever's left. So if they have like 50 cents left in their pocket after spending $400,000, it's going down. Okay, we are not privy to what goes on in Venezuela because Trump doesn't seem to care about the poor people in Venezuela, especially the ones who have green cards to come back to America. So if you have a green card and you left your family to go to your other family in Venezuela and you want to come back to America, you were just put on the travel ban list. So you can't come back to America. You've got to stay in the hellhole of Venezuela, and they are really in trouble. Their food levels are disappearing. People are struggling. I understand in the prisons they're eating each other. Cannibalism is rampant. Hey, I got somebody's head over here. You want to munch on his brains? Things like that go on right now in Venezuela prisons.
Ahorita aquí en Cecilio Acosta. Está toda mierda. Toda verga, ¿ves? Mira la hora que a la verga los cables.
Okay, this is electrical short circuit in Venezuela. Let's take a look. Electrical short circuit.
Cebillo, al Cebillo. Está explotando todo, coño. No joda. Me la madre. Cebillo. Ay, Dios mío. ¿Quién coño vive aquí en esta verga así, pana? ¿Ah? Maldito susto, se me va a salir el corazón. Mira el cielo, chica. Chico, es la verga, no sé ni qué digo. Joda, uno se puede morir aquí en esta verga idiotamente. Estando tranquilo en la calle. ¿Ves? El cielo, todo huele a quemado, todo está explotando. ¿Ves? Explosiones en todos lados. ¿Ves? Explotó el posta.
Ay, 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 ay. This is a short circuit extraordinaire. Yeah.
El caos se apodera de esta mierda.
Any of you speaking Spanish maybe understand what they're saying. No, it's short-circuiting. The whole electrical system's fried. These people are in danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Yes. Do you understand what they're saying? We're watching Venezuela's short circuit. It's shocking. Pun intended. Yes, y no bueno. Oh, electrical chaos. Never mind. Electrical chaos in Venezuela. A brownout. Yes, it's going on for a long time. It's not like they're going to have people fix it. You speak Portuguese? Shocking, yes. They're basically saying screw socialism. Yeah, Maduro he's not like Hugo Chavez. He does not bring us food and goodies. It's electrical jargon, shocking, yes. Sí. Ay, caramba. Flat moon. Very serio pussies. Seriosis. Oh, see. Okay, we're done there. Wow, that was shocking. And Montana collects $1.8 million from cannabis, medical cannabis tax revenue. That's a start. The great state of Montana is benefiting from a little pot. I'm glad that a lot of you support legalization. I know some of you don't, like Bingo and Deadhead. Yeah, you probably are Bingo. You're just a new name. So tonight we brought up some pretty interesting facts about our president. He lost a total of $1,700 billion in taxes when he gave tax breaks to the rich. Yeah, that's how much money's missing. Gracias, Mr. Trump. Sí. Oh, bueno. And then on top of that, we also have a overspending of $500 billion in the past 6 months. And I established that that is indeed voodoo economics. Yes, it's the voodoo that you do when you do, and you don't know what you're doing. It's not good, folks. I wish it was. But voodoo economics is a junk economic science of what the hell is going on. When we run out of money to save our nation. A major recession is coming? Well, I would say we're in the throes of a Great Depression, Eric. But thank you very much. And then CBS News talks about how the government's stopping federal salary increases. And I think that's a good move, actually. I'm actually in favor of that. Trump cancels federal employee pay increases, citing financial concerns.
Let's cut right to the chase. Is the president going to sign the bill? The answer is yes. Why? Because it funds his priorities. We've talked for the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 months about trying to get the president's priorities funded, and this omnibus bill does that. It funds national defense. As you heard Sarah mention, it gives the troops the increase that we were trying to get them in their compensation. It funds opioids. It funds school safety. It's a tremendous increase in workforce development, something that doesn't get a lot of attention, but this administration has been pushing since we got here. It actually starts taking a look at funding infrastructure, and it also does a lot of what we wanted, not everything we wanted, but a lot of what we wanted on immigration. So all things considered, when we look at the bill, we have to weigh what we asked for and what we had to give away to give it. Is it perfect? No. Is it exactly what we asked for in the budget? No. Were we ever going to get that? No. That's not how the process works.
What this guy is a slick talking manipulator working for the Trump cabinet. He might actually be the only one with an intelligent thought. You never know. But in any event, I do believe that we do need the cuts necessary in the federal payments out to federal workers, because I'm actually thinking we need to readjust federal payments and pension plans for all federal and state and local officials. I'm going to be the bearer of bad news if you choose me as your president. Unfortunate that we have to cut the salaries and pension plans for federal workers, but if we don't, we're going to be dealing with voodoo economics. Ooh. Yeah. It's the equivalent of the Hindenburg, but with a blimp plane. It's the Blimpenberg of economic meltdowns. Help me. This is a tragic day in history. Yeah. He says he's using FLMA will reduce Social Security credits, proposed law. Okay, thanks. I didn't realize Rubio's proposal to cut Social Security. Well, the family and medical leave is not something that we can really expand. Yeah, I just don't think we can expand it. I don't really agree with him on that one. All right, we are about ready to see the early portion of the close of this show. So we're going to go ahead and do a transition. I'm going to take off and go to the music festival. Sarah's going to provide me with a little bit of entertainment, hopefully. Or maybe I should just let her sleep. But I kind of wanted to see some music down there. If Trump is a huge dunce, why would he think your ideas are good? He's not saying anything about me in particular. He's just using my ideas. Trump can't think of new ideas, so he uses them from other people. What about that do you not understand, Melko? I mean, we know you're in here. Yeah, you just missed the whole idea. He's only using ideas that sound good. He's not implementing any of these ideas. He's agreed not to sign the treaty with Iran. That's good. He agreed to not expand the Trans-Pacific Partnership. That's good. But that was designed to help relations with China. He screwed that up. He doesn't understand what he's doing. So he makes decisions that are similar to my decisions because he's copying us, but he doesn't follow up on them. That's my point. Okay, Google censored. That's going to be a good video. I'll play more of that right now. And then I will break to this Crime and Punishment. It's a 2-hour movie. We'll be following up, and I'll be back in the show to follow up with movies in the evening. Thank you for watching, everybody. The Google censorship hammer is coming down. Are you going to have your YouTube channels cut for no reason? You know, they're making very arbitrary decisions trying to limit our access. It's unfortunate. All right, I'll be back tomorrow for our anti-war rally at 5 p.m. Thank you for coming in. I'll be in the show tonight to watch movies with you into the evening. Thank you.
Gonna make you feel good, gonna make you feel good, gonna make you mine. Gonna make you feel good, gonna make you feel good, gonna make you mine.
We deserve a better government, one that addresses the real concerns of its people. Now, it seems, so much news is fake, twisting what America stands for. Let's protect our gun rights against media manipulation. Let's get back to what really matters. Secure, safe schools, fencing, and security for our youth, and a clean environment for everyone. Join us nightly as we discuss America's most important concerns at America's Third Party.